Okay, do a professional caster intro, Mr. Onlu.
Oh, all right. So, spawning here in the blue as the Byzantines. We're doing blue for Hera and for MbL, right?
Exactly.
Okay. So the west of Serengeti will be Hera, and to the east of the map in the red, also as the Byzantines in this mirror matchup, will be MbL. Both AM players and paused.
Pause? Okay.
I have a pause.
I don't have a pause. Maybe I'm a bit later. I'm at 1
I'm
minute
at,
25.
oh, I'm at 132.
Okay, I have a pause. No one really typing. So we start off with map pack Mirror Civilizations. As you guys know, this will be the only mirror match of the whole series. After that, we will have the system that the loser decides on 2 civilizations. The other guy picks which of the 2 he plays, and On and I already discussed not really knowing how well those 2 will prepare. I'm actually expecting MbL to go for more like A and S tier civilizations.
Yeah, definitely. I think that some players will want to mix in the bad civs, quote unquote. But I think both of these players would actually prefer having the good ones, if that makes sense. Like just in every situation, just picking 2 of the best civs for the map and just trying to go in a big straight up fight.
Yeah, I think so as well. We did see Slavs and Huns was one game that I spectated from MbL, so yeah, he likes to play the strong civilizations. Also, always an advocate of like picking the strong civilizations, simply because they're more fun as well. They generate faster games. If we compare it, like Byzantine's War has to be more passive than, let's say, Mongols' War on this map.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you consider fast games to be fun and not just sitting around and spamming trash units for 2 hours, I know I find that fun.
Yeah.
But maybe I'm a masochist.
Yeah, and you like to get all your upgrades in the university and need time for that as well.
Of course, I mean, you gotta flex that Byzantine tech tree, man.
Yeah. They have one of the widest ones, right?
They have the widest one.
Okay. Thought like Spanish could be up there as well.
Spanish are actually 3, Saracens are 2.
Okay. Today we learned.
I got you, fam.
Okay, 4 on wood now in the back here for Mr. MbL. We also have 4 on wood for Hera. Kind of spells Man-at-Arm opening to me.
Yep, we also have both players luring some ostrich. This map has 1 elephant or rhino, and then I believe 8 ostrich. So definitely kind of need to use your scout in the early game to get that extra food income. So you're probably not going to be able to know where your opponent's base is too early in a lot of situations.
Yeah, we've seen that several times now, that people even try to defend the Man-at-Arm opening and only then started scouting. Yeah, very greedy plays here over and over again. But Hera, he is a guy that also feels like, okay, pushing 2 deer maximum at the 4 minute 30 mark, you need to start scouting and try to find out where your opponent is. MbL on the greedier side.
Yeah, usually I think MbL is playing as safe as possible, but he is wanting all that juicy ostrich meat, which is actually really tasty. If you've,
I actually had ostrich steak, but that was a long time ago.
That was in the pre-vegan years.
Yeah.
the dark ages.
My dark ages, indeed, yeah. Man-at-Arm open, or no, militia opening here by MbL. He builds the barracks before the mill. That's something we don't see too often.
Will it be for the militia opening? Yes, it will. So, yeah, it's going to be a very fast opening. Well, I mean, as far as drushes go, but you would assume that there would also be some aggression to follow up behind it. No Lithuanian, 3 minute drush or whatever, but it's still going to be pretty fast. See if you can harass some of the lumberjacks or forage pushers of Hera.
Well, we will see about that. And I got Mr. Noff in my channel, in old school Warcraft 3 legend. Great that you found your way here. And yeah, indeed, no Lithuanians. It will be a bit of a slower drush. Let's take a look how Hera wants to defend this one. Is now building the barracks as well. It just feels like... Oh no, he plays the militia defense and now farms up as well.
That's interesting. Yeah, this is a very passive opening here from Hera. Now he's even just going out to the ostrich. Yeah, it should be pretty comfortable for him, I think. So long as he can, send his militia, where they need to be, but I think he shouldn't have too much of a problem with that. And I think this could actually go pretty well in terms of deflecting his opponent.
Hera scouted the barracks. He should know. He should know exactly what's up here. And MbL, he only scouted the berries. Now goes around though. That's interesting. Normally you're trying to go to the direct angle. Hera not really knowing where to defend his scouters in the other direction as well. Maybe MbL can catch the villagers off guard there, but now we have Loom there as well and 4 villagers together.
Yeah, we even have the second mill coming down here from Hera on the ostrich, so he really wants all that nice, juicy ostrich meat. And also, oh, wow, I got raided by Debbie, of all people.
Choo-choo!
There we go. Welcome 400 more people. But yes, so militia now coming in. Gonna see if they can get something done. The militia of Hera aren't quite in position, but with using the high ground, actually no, militia can go for these deer snipes or ostrich snipes.
Yeah, and since 2 days, now we will lose all the food there if the militia is killing those ostriches. Change with the last balance patch there. Or hotfix, how they call it nowadays.
Yeah, I'm really glad they implemented that. Now you can, I think, you need to be more careful with how you manage those early huntable resources, and it's just a little bit more area of skill, or not skill in my case, where you just kill the boar with your town center.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually an advocate of keeping it like how it kind of was featured / bugged at the moment, because yeah, it just pushes people a bit closer together, but I also see that we played it for so many years. By the way, MbL behind this is playing 23 villagers, so that's going to be a feudal age follow-up, while Hera is playing Pop 30 and now takes the militia fight here.
Yep, both are going to disengage at least for the time being. Hera has the high ground, but MbL has more HP. MbL probably going to want to just stall until the Men at Arm upgrade comes in. And of course, I'm wrong. Looks like he just wants to take the fight instantly.
Yeah, he is.
Lily Wallolo.
He isn't really on gold here. He's only now sent 2 villagers there. Didn't really collect that. But is still taking a massive fight there. How did that happen?
Well, MbL took the better fight initially, so he had around 30 more HP in total on his units, I would guess. And that thing can snowball, and MbL just taking the better fight right there. Now, is he going to be sending any villagers forward? Not yet. Just going to be building an archery range. But he is going over to stone.
Yeah, so that could be something for defensive towers. Hera, he's not playing fast castle behind this either. It's just double archery range by him. Or maybe, does he go for a stable? We very rarely see Drush into stable. But it could be the Hera style.
Yeah, well, Hera does love his scouts in any and all situations. And no, it will be the double archery range.
Yeah.
And not being on gold is just going to be for skirmishers, because Byzantines.
Yeah,
and skirmishers and spearmen is probably just going to be about as safe as it gets.
Uh-oh, look at that. Pulling the boys, and some of them are the Moonwalkers there. That is so sick. Pulling 5 boys ahead there. 2 skirmishers, 1 spearman now going forward. But Hera should instantly see what's happening here. Gets the kill against the scout and goes back.
That is pretty nice move for Hera. He is, of course, known for sniping units with his scouts. But in come these villagers and towering the forward berry bushes and stone. Going to be a really good idea. And right now it's 9 military to 2 in favor of MbL. This is going to be a little bit tricky to hold.
But is it really worth it to tower? Like 240 food only on those berry bushes. You're not really towering too far. I think Hera could have maybe just stayed calm and counter tower the next tower.
I think you still want to tower the forage bushes just because you are running out of those ostrich like any moment. So any amount of disruption on your opponent's food economy is going to be really good. But of course, both towers are going to be completing for the time being. And of course, the tower of MbL is shooting a house, the most vital of targets.
Well, it's shorter there in distance, and therefore it's targeting that one. But yeah, not really pretty. Now running around military. Hera is slowly catching up. Full skirmishers might be better because there are some weak militia and spearmen in there that shouldn't really do too much in the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Hera should just eventually climb ahead as he is on 1 more archery range than his opponent. Second tower coming in for both players. Skirmishers just going to be whittling away at the villagers, but I do imagine both of these towers are going to come up. Maybe MbL can get 1 or 2 volleys off.
Yeah, I don't think we should see any villager losses there. 2 low HP villagers. Meanwhile, Hera is rushing out the front tower in front of the berries.
Nice little bit of villager control right there from Hera, and even using the villagers to try and take down the initial tower of MbL. That might not be the best idea. 1 HP villager does make it to the tower. So Hera, no losses yet.
Yeah, pretty solid. KD, as we can see, 3-1. That was the 1 scout killed and the 3 militia on the other side. Now moves on to some gold there with not the prettiest mining camp I've ever seen from Hera.
That is a 100% doubt-approved mining camp right there. It is always weird to mining camp hills and whatnot, but yeah, that's not the greatest. He does need any amount of gold though. He got the blacksmith, but then I think he realized, oh wait, I don't have any gold for fletching. So unless you want to rush up a +1 archer defense in a skirmisher mirror, which doesn't sound like the most useful thing in the world, probably going to need to get some gold for fletching.
Yeah, he is getting that. Has a solid 400 food behind this as well. Some farmers working for him. I think Hera, he might be up to Castle Age eventually. But MbL, he has solid resources as well. I might have misjudged that. 400 food, 300 gold for him.
Looks like Hera is actually running his initial scout. Gonna snipe a villager of MbL's. Cute little move there on the other side. But yeah, his resources really aren't looking all that bad. And that's just the power of cheap Byzantine trash. I mean, you can go for this more aggressive play and then still have decent resources behind it. And I would say it's done an okay amount of damage if MbL can just retarget that tower onto the other tower. Or I guess they're out of range. No, they're not.
They should be in range, right? Yeah, indeed. Maybe fletching was missing. Hera only now clicking fletching. Who has the better position at the moment?
Well, Hera's army has gotten a little bit larger, but MbL might be able to dance around with fletching for the next, I don't know, 5 seconds. But I think it's actually pretty even. Villager count is the same. And I think this actually should just get to Castle Age without too much issue.
MbL, he is investing a lot of his food. Only has 6 farmers at the moment, so that's not the biggest food income. Now adding some more. On the other side...
Only has 7.
What? Yeah. So it is actually pretty low food ecos at the moment for people that are going double archery range skirms. That's a bit surprising to me.
Yeah, that is kind of surprising. I mean, you don't need much food for Byzantine skirms, but you do need an amount of food. And whoa, Hera, he is sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Oh, and he's
going right for the tower.
He's trying to rush this one down, has way more army. Skirm count is very small, so that's going to be no problem here for him. Low HP on the skirmishers, but still, he is smashing this one.
Yep, the tower does be destroyed before the other tower comes in, and now all of the skirmishers are dead, and the villagers are going to have to book it back to the base of MbL, or try and punch their way out of this.
I'm surprised that he didn't try to simply run. Maybe spread
well,
them
now
around.
he is.
Yeah, I see that, but 1 villager still in the tower, 2 villagers still in the tower. And Hera, he will get some juicy kills for himself. He might even get all 5.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the villagers are very low HP, and 2 are just kind of enjoying the view of the little pond right there, just taking javelins in the back without a care in the world. Now MbL is rushing up some defensive towers in panic mode, going to be building a stable behind this as well, but if he goes for scouts, that's just going to delay his Castle Age time even more, and he is just getting pretty far behind at this point.
130 food, 500 gold in a war where you don't want to really go for any archers. Doesn't make too much sense. And Hera, well, he is floating 400 gold as well. But did get the 4 villager kills. Now 2 ahead. And he has 2 sneaky villagers at the right-hand side. What are those up to?
Oh, yeah, that is quite sneaky. I'm not too sure. I mean, I guess you could tower, but doesn't seem like it's all that worth it. Hera actually has 670 stone in the bank. He could really easily just buy his way up to Castle Age with a market, and that is indeed what he's making. So he should be clicking up pretty shortly. MbL, though, as well, if he just could get a market. Could get to Castle Age soon.
Oh, we'll see about that. Market soon to be finished by Hera. MbL, he wants to go for the tower defense that you advised him, basically, before the game, and now builds the market at the right-hand side as well.
Yep, so we should be seeing Hera a little bit faster to the Castle Age compared to MbL, which, you know, reflects him just being a little ways ahead in this game. Even causing some idle time here with these skirmishers, if not quite able to get any kills, because skirmishers flinging their wet noodles, not going to be doing much damage to villagers.
Ooh, Ooh, but you know what could do a lot of damage? Knights. And Hera is preparing the sneaky stables at the side. I think that shouldn't be for scouts.
I would hope it's not for scouts. But actually, MbL is going to be faster in clicking up to Castle Age. Just an inch ahead of Hera, because we use freedom units here. But yeah, now with Castle Age coming in, it should definitely be for the forward knights. Does MbL realize he's building an outpost?
Oh, this is the outpost now. Will it be in range to scout the stable? You get free town watch, right? Oh,
Yes,
he
you
sees
do.
it.
Yes, he does.
Oh, that's so bad.
And the tower coming in is instantly going to be denied as well.
Oh, is it?
Just punch the tower. Or not.
He is
Oh, I
not,
guess he's trying to
because-
save the vills.
Yeah, there's a lot of skirmishes coming from behind there. Might lose a villager. That means stable is going to go up. And MbL, he will play this, well, very defensively now.
Yeah, another tower coming up on the gold, like you're saying. Hera's actually mined out of stone. He could feasibly drop a forward castle if he wanted to, behind some knights.
Oh boy. 825 stone in the bank. Obviously, Cataphract's not really the unit that is so much better than knights in this spot. So I think it's more about map control. Maybe even builds it defensively.
It definitely could be. Maybe on the hill to the south of his base would be a good spot if he wanted to put it, you know, a bit more passively. Second stable now coming in for MbL as well. Even if you go for the knights, the cheap Byzantine camels are going to be a pretty good option in answering that.
Yeah, true. We don't have a lot of spearmen out. MbL just with another tower. That's going to be knights from him and massive tower defense. Now some scouts on the other side already having forging for themselves.
Yeah, that's going to be quite nice. A little bit of weird maneuvering from those skirmishers of Hera. But MbL should be able to get this defensive tower up. Knights actually for both players. No one opting for the camels. But honestly, Hera's not taking the best fight here with these skirmishers, considering how many more he had.
Yeah, he right-clicked the lumber camp there, right? It felt really, really weird. Double stable. Night production makes sense, in my opinion, against the skirmisher numbers. And then soon we will see switches into camels that you wanted to see.
Yeah, it makes plenty of sense. MbL did get another villager snipe over on the other side of the map, so everything's actually pretty even as far as that goes. Hera is getting the +2 defense, though, so he'll have some pretty good upgrades. Fighting under the town center is never a great idea, though. And MbL is doing a pretty good job stabilizing, I'd say. Literally. Stables.
Oh. And yeah, just playing camel, tower defense, and skirmishers. Like, this is, like this can't be Hidden Cup, right? Because we always knew, if you look at that, it is MbL here with his typical defense. He's now trying to boom at the side a bit here as well. And yeah, absolutely even game. I'm only missing extra TCs from Hera.
Or a castle or something. Like, yeah, I think he sold some of his stone.
Seems like it.
So maybe he's just trying to continue production. Okay, no, he is building a town center. So he is going to be getting his economy, but it will be slower than MbL's. Maybe some villager snipes could make up for that, but even then, not even having forging on those knights means they're going to take just that much longer to kill any villagers, and MbL is honestly looking pretty cozy right now.
But, well, finding aggression will be tricky for him. Now he builds the monastery at home. I think I heard monastery already. Yes, indeed. And some monk production from Hera. So, yeah, an absolute mirror here.
Who would have thought with a mirror match? But Hera has a slight villager lead, but MbL had the faster town center. So, honestly, that should all be pretty even. It needs to be some differentiating factor, either another town center or some sort of aggressive play. One of these guys is to get ahead in the near future.
Well, I think just stop the night production, go for mass camels, and, well, you can sit on a lot of defensive TCs. Monk getting sniped there quite nicely by MbL. He's not the guy with the aggression, has 8 more military on the field.
Yep, that definitely makes sense, and these lumberjacks are definitely a little bit exposed. Gonna have to pull back for the time being. And yeah, Hera's gonna have to book it back with these camels. Upgrades are way better on the cavalry for Hera, definitely worth mentioning. Only the forging for MbL versus the +1/+2 for Hera, but still, MbL not wanting to commit right now.
Oh, that's indeed a massive, well, upgrade advantage there. Let's take a look. 10 cavalry against 19 cavalry at the moment, MbL. He could take some fights, but, well, where into? We have a lot of towers from Hera, we have defensive TCs, now building another one at the very top. Camel Monk defense. I think it's just sitting back, booming, and transitioning into him? No.
Yeah, that's what I would do. That's also what I would do in every scenario. So, yeah, both players on the 3 TCs at this point. Hera has been able to maintain this villager lead despite MbL getting the earlier second TC, so that's definitely going to be quite good for him. But MbL is just getting more well-rounded in his cavalry techs. Do you expect these guys to go for cavalry in the transition to Imperial or switch over into Halberdiers?
The MbL style should be going Halberdier skirmisher push, and the Hera style would be Cavaliers into raiding at the side and skirmisher defense in the center.
Yeah, that definitely would check out as far as these players' styles go. Just a random scout dying in the north. But yeah, both players really not wanting to go too aggressive. Byzantines not really the best at raiding with their camels as they do lack bloodlines. And yeah, it's surprisingly chill right now, although MbL is kind of posturing in the middle of the map.
Yeah, it just keeps the hill there. Also, remember Byzantines, they get up to so much cheaper that we could maybe see something squeezed in, maybe even before the 90 villager mark. Let's compare resources. MbL banking up a bit, but no, investing everything, +2 defense and the second farm upgrade. Yeah, that will be more action in Castle Age.
Yeah, I mean, Hera, again, he has the resources for a castle right now, but he's not building one. If he's not going to go for the castle, he should just sell some stone and get his way up to Imp faster. I mean, do something with those resources. I'm not surprised he's not.
I like, actually, like, there is no good stone spot, right? I think the only mistake he's doing that he keeps 5 villagers on stone. I think those could have been on gold or tried to collect some wood. But where do you think he could have built a good castle at the moment?
On the south side of his base on his hill. I mean, this hill kind of stretches across the entire middle of the map from both players' bases, and it would be really, it's really important to control, so dropping a castle there seems like a great way to secure that location.
Okay, I can see that, yeah. He goes for TC number 4 now, builds some farmers in the back, and very passive game at the moment. Obviously, best of 7 series. Whoever wins 4 games will advance into the finals for tomorrow, and he's building the university where you wanted to see the castle.
Well, you know, learning is really the best form of defense. Yeah, well, I mean, university, it's probably just going to be for Imperial Age. He has the resources for Imp. Actually, a little bit late with the university in terms of when he could click up with the cheap Byzantine Imp, as you were saying. MbL building his own university, and these guys should be having very similar Imperial Age timings, but with Hera having a notable 10 villager lead.
Yeah, and maybe reading some Sun Tzu there in the university, The Art of War, and...
I have it on my bookshelf over there.
Ah, okay. Maybe you can quote some before we see the action starting. And...
I'll get my proper citations ready in between games.
Okay, sweet stuff. So, now we have the phase where actually both players could have gone for a lot of relics being picked off, or like collected. MbL has won. Hera did expand some, but didn't get too many. So I think MbL should be in the better spot there, might even get 2.
Well, Hera just got a relic, as you were talking. So each player will have one for the time being. MbL patrolling some knights near a relic in the south. And yeah, it's just going to be Hera with a little bit of an advantage in this game all around. Military counts are more or less the same. Hera, 12 more villagers and a slightly faster Imperial Age time. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough to really leverage like a big attack against Byzantines, though.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Town centers are just so good. You're lacking all the armor with the camel, as you mentioned earlier. No bloodlines there. You cannot really fight under those CCs. And yeah, just the camel skirm army composition is going to be really strong as a defense here.
Indeed, that is the case. Hera trying to make something happen, perhaps, but then realizes that that is not going to happen. And does back off for the time being, perhaps going to be trying to wait for his Imperial Age. And, of course, as you were saying, Nilly, pikeman upgrade on the way for MbL. He will be our first player to switch over into the halberdiers.
Interesting, and that's something Hera is completely neglecting for now, is adding some archery ranges, so wants to go for triple archery range skirmishes. Still lacking a lot of upgrades though. Just finished the +2 and going for defense upgrades now. Yeah, pretty much what we expected. Phew, this could be a long one, Onlu.
It definitely could be. And, you know, these are two players who will not shy away from taking a game super long. But I kind of like the halberdier play transition a bit more, as you can just save the gold and you can just use it for something else that is a bit more worthwhile, as the camels really are just counter units. They're not, you know, inherently strong units in and of themselves.
Well, they're
But
good
Hera's
enough
good.
against skirmishers here. I'm a bit surprised that Hera's not taking that fight in the center. He could completely kill this one. MbL a bit out of position. We even have a conversion against the skirmishers, something we don't see too often.
You got to get that valuable Byzantine skirmisher on your side, and a big fight could be underway here. MbL slight numbers advantage, but Hera coming in actually doesn't have any Imperial Age upgrades for his units, so MbL should just be able to hold this off no problem.
I think so as well, waiting for the heavy camel, and I think Bracer is really crucial. That's the spot where I would love to see, well, maybe 2, if you want to go crazy, even 3 siege, blacksmith, just to get all your upgrades out.
Triple blacksmith, oh boy. But no, that's not going to be the case just yet. I think that there really wasn't an opportunity for Hera to make something huge happen, so there's no point in trying to rush some sort of attack happen. Just kind of keep chilling, sitting back. My one concern for him is he's not really making any sort of transition into a better army, because theoretically MbL's army should just clap Hera's army.
Well, there aren't too many camels, so I think Hera can just run away. Now build more siege workshops to the center, did get the castle where you wanted, and, well, next attack angle. But Hera not with the greatest production. I think MbL should be able to push him away, as you said, yeah.
Yeah, I think MbL shouldn't have too much of an issue here. Hera is going to be making a big play with these camels. Just kidding, he's now running away with them. But yeah, MbL, he has the better production. He has a slight numbers advantage. Closer reinforcements, obviously. And shouldn't have any problem repairing the TC. And in come the halberdiers. There are only, 10 skirmishers to deal with all those halberdiers? That's not really going to be enough.
Yeah, I agree. Very poor defense upgrades on those as well. Only now getting ballistics. He cannot take this fight. I think even running and just let the trap die might be your best call here.
Yeah, definitely. Hera banking up around 1,000 food and gold right now, not seeming too sure how to spend it. But it looks like Hera is kind of wishy-washy in terms of taking this fight. MbL coming in with these camels, definitely being a lot more decisive and taking a very nice little fight right there.
Absolutely. He behind this even tagged for the bombard cannon, so he's getting some mobile siege out, is now taking reasonable engagement here. 20 more military on the field for him, slightly behind in villagers, and yeah, he really gets the resources on the map, as we can see, at least compared to Hera, who's banking them up massively.
I think there's always a question in a mirror match where the Civ is very strong with trash, like Byzantines. Like, what do you actually spend your gold on? Because you need to make it count. And it's not super clear in this case. Honestly, cataphracts wouldn't be the worst option in the world. Don't laugh. If you're not spending gold on anything else, you can actually go for cataphracts in a 1v1. I've seen it happen, and I've made it happen plenty of times.
Yeah, like, honestly, I think like siege rams is the best unit complementing your trash if you want to go for massive amounts. You can go for counterattacks, which are really nice. You can have some buffer. Halberdiers are not like super good against them. Skirmishers obviously won't do too much, and then you can take better fights. But for now, we even have more gold, and look at that. MbL, he is taking into further monks.
That is interesting, considering that there really isn't a... I guess for the bombard cannons, right? That makes sense.
Oh, okay. Do we have
Yeah,
redemption?
Does he have redemption yet, or no?
I would be surprised. I didn't see it. Block printing is the first upgrade that I can see now.
I'll bite the bullet. I'm going to check the tech tree. No, he does not.
Okay. So rally count still 1-1. Now both having castles on that hilly area. Monasteries by Hera as well. Both going for monks. They're trying to convert the bombard cannons of the opponent, apparently.
Well, should be a pretty good option. Hera has now mostly liquidated all of his gold at this point, spending it on siege weapons and monks. MbL just now getting conscription, and I'm surprised that we're not seeing any more of any raiding attempts, although I do like how Hera's expanding on the map, taking a lot of the neutral resources right now.
Yeah, but still, just build 2 stables at the top, 2 stables at the bottom, and that's so much better for you. And yeah, I'm missing that as well. Very one-dimensional fight through the center in an area where you can't be broken anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be so hard for either of these players to push through here. Byzantine siege is not very good, and Byzantine defenses are very good. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to take you a while to get through that. But still, in a vacuum, I like how Hera is going to be positioned going on here as the game goes on with the extra resources in the north and south.
Yeah, he's a bit more active, and also on the east, right? He's snacking that 1 extra gold spot there, only with 2 villagers, but that's sneaky enough for me.
And that is of adequate sneakiness. But yeah, Trebuchet's going to be going. You can't convert those from range, and MbL's going to need to put up some sort of defense right here, but his army is still a bit better, I think.
MbL without the heavy camel upgrade, everything else pretty similar. He's going for more halberdiers. Now this looks like a real engagement, and Hera, he kind of lost everything except his skirmishers. I think now a go by MbL could do a lot.
Yeah, just kill him. Kill him.
Oh, bomber cannons, great connections there, shooting from behind, and I think Hera, he is not getting resources on the map. Look at that, 2k food, 2k wood, 5k food.
Make units, Hera. MbL is just pushing, you know, apply pressure directly to the forehead. And now he's going to be almost at double the military count in just a second. And Age of Empires, it's a game of momentum. If MbL starts getting here, starts sniping these production buildings, this could snowball out of control really fast for Hera.
Yeah, bomber cannons not too pretty while retreating there as well. Very clumped up there with all the skirmishes. I think if MbL had now 5 rams or something, he would just completely kill this. Still lacking some ratings at the side. Give me an over-under of this game, Onlo.
I think it still should be going another at least 15-20 minutes.
Okay.
I don't think MbL is going to be able to break Hera just yet, especially with the castle here.
Oh yeah, the castle is surely helping out, but MbL, we can't deny that, is pushing quite nicely. Bombard cannons connection there in the back as well. Hera not the best micro there with his bombard cannons. MbL gets some good connections in. He's the one pushing, but military count now evened out again.
Yep. Of course, that is just Hera taking these slightly better engagements as he gets closer to his own production. Monk did get a conversion onto the bombard cannon of MbL, so that's going to be a nice little bit of a pickup right there. But what I did see, like you were asking for, Nelly, there is the siege ram transition coming in for MbL, and that should be really, really powerful as there are so few melee units left for either player.
Yeah, maybe monks even need to start converting them, but you cannot convert them from distance, and then halberdier skirmishes will always do something. I don't like that we see so few hussars here from either side, only now the tech from Hera.
Yeah, Hera is now getting the hussar attacks. Of course, he does love his hussar raids. But yeah, on this map like Serengeti, it's so open, it's so spread out. You'd imagine that hussars could get a ton done. Also, there are 2 unclaimed relics. I'm kind of surprised at this point, especially since both have invested quite heavily into monks. So that's kind of a little bit strange to me. But we're going to have to see if the siege ram play can make the difference, as MbL, he's getting that ram train going.
4 bombard cannons can deal with that pretty well, but there at the bottom at the moment, the ram train is happening at the top, and indeed the siege ram tag there as well. Very stable game when it comes to villager counts. Not a lot of raids. Now the first one's kind of at the top, but a castle there by Hera to defend.
Yep, MbL will snatch control of that gold for the time being. Castle not really there to defend, but I imagine Hera can be making good use of those stables on the right side pretty soon. And now the siege ram upgrade is complete for MbL, and I still think he's in a better position to push forward as the game goes on.
We'll see about that. Skirmish against skirmish, obviously tricky to advance there, so easy for your opponent to fall back, produce, and attack again. Like, reinforcement lines are so important in those, snowballing. Well, tricky if your opponent has enough production.
Yeah, but I think the idea at that point is just kill your opponent's production. And that's kind of what MbL is doing right here. A lot of these archery ranges are in the front. Yeah, Hera has several in the back, but I mean, when you're needing to produce as many units as in a Byzantine Mirror Trash War, I honestly think just killing the production, that's honestly what MbL is doing right now. I think that's a really good idea.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Still has some light cav, taking the sides as well. Would love the Hasa attack. Something we already mentioned Hera went for. Both players keeping their population quite nice and high. KD very even. Everything looks super even.
Oh, it's so nice to have the KD back with the latest hotfix. That is quite nice to see. Some light cav mixing themselves in right here. And remember, Hera doesn't have halberdiers. So MbL has a near complete trash tech tree, whereas Hera does not. MbL's kind of fallen a little bit behind in this push in the center, though.
Bombard cannons converted against him. Therefore, it's only one bombard cannon against 5 now. Could now return the favor, and the pendulum swings back. Hera now the one with the attack.
Yep, Hera definitely getting ready to make something happen with those 5 bombard cannons. Light cav here for MbL, though, and Hera is actually prepping his own siege ram, so now pendulum swinging in the other direction, but MbL really wants to get some raiding done.
Yeah, and he's very active now. Red dots everywhere in blue space, as we can see. Gets a lot of villager kills. Hera, he lost a solid 15. But yeah, I think the most important thing is the center. Hera trying to reinforce that position with another castle.
Yep, that sounds pretty good to me. Just slowly creeping across the map. MbL trying to build a bunch of stables in the north. Those villagers actually do look walled off, so I think they will be able to complete something and might be able to distract Hera for the time being. MbL doing more raiding in every direction with a castle in the south to control that gold as well. Does have to be careful of the middle, though.
Boy, look at the resources still of Hera. 3k, 4k, 2k. Just ridiculous for this late stage of the game. And it's not like they have not been trading off armies against each other. MbL absolutely at the limit with everything. Not even 1k in total.
Yeah, that is definitely not good for MbL. But if it's a matter of map control and raiding, MbL definitely is still in a pretty good position as far as that goes. But crossbowman tech now coming in for Hera. He's going to try and make something happen with all of this gold, and that's going to be Arbalests. What do you think of that?
I wanted to ask you the same thing. I don't think it's too great. Your opponent has like a lot of skirmishers. It's not really the army that you can go for only as well. It's not really the greatest additional unit. I think I wanted to see more siege, or maybe just save it up and go for a massive paladin switch or something. But
or a massive cataphract switch.
Yeah,
just
then you need the castles. How many castles does Hera have? Yes, 4 castles. Yeah, okay, I would be fine with cataphracts as well.
No, like I was saying, like cataphracts, they kill everything. And if you're not spending gold on literally anything else, other than like a few random siege units, then yeah, by all means. Byzantines don't really counter cataphracts too well, unless they have a bunch of Arbalests, but that's not really going to happen at this stage. But siege rams are starting to get sniped off for Hera.
1.2k HP for that castle. I think it might go up and instantly fall behind this. A lot of villagers being sent through the center. Bombard cannons, can they go in for the defense? We have 8.1k HP on those castles, though. Maybe he can even hold it. Let's take a look. Bombard cannons trying to go for the snipe against the trap there. But, oh, Albadier's there to block exactly that.
Only 1 bombard cannon hit so far. They're so low in HP, but they do manage to get the trebuchet, but that's still a lot of dead bombard cannons for saving that castle.
Oh, yeah.
But they're actually a massive military lead right now.
Oh, 90 to 40. The raid at the top continues. Still no Hasa tech from MbL. I think he maybe should have focused something a bit differently here. Hera with the nice raids in the back. MbL struggling to stay at pop 170.
Yeah, and of course, as you were saying, Hera just has all the resources in the world to spend on, you know, whatever units he wants. MbL, not so much. It's good for Hera that he has been raided so much because he just has a huge bank and he can just change that population into military. MbL's castle now going down at a rather alarming rate. He already lost some trebuchets. And yeah, it seems like MbL kind of getting picked apart right now.
Oh, ratings everywhere. Castle at the left-hand side is falling. Hasa go beautifully there. The raid at the top is stopped as well. Still raids in the back. Oh god, Hera is so active. MbL, his keyboard has to be burning at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely not looking super great for him. Like, even with his way more villagers, Hera's just been taking so much more of efficient trades and going to be raiding in with these Hussars now, trying to get some revenge for all the raiding that MbL was doing earlier, but just look at this big old mass of range units at the center, like 43, somewhere around there. Range units, that's not going to be too easy to deal with.
Yeah, no on-edge attack against it as well. We have a lot of halberdiers, something that MbL, well, can't really send to the front either. Now traps are doing some work. Bombard cannon can maybe defend this in the center.
It's still going to be pretty tricky, though. Because now that they're Arbalists here, they are way better at sniping bombard cannons than our skirmishers. But honestly, the Arbalists are kind of caught out of position for Hera. MbL taking a decent fight there, but there just isn't the massive units he needs. Now, population's closing a little bit, but it's still not looking great for MbL in the middle.
Scums are moving forward, trying to get the snipe against the bombard cannon. 80 HP on it, tries to run away, tries to go for the repair as well. Lightcap are dealing pretty well with this. It feels like MbL is saving that bombard cannon while slaughtering lots of the skirmishers. Nice defense here by MbL.
Yeah, that was a really incredible defense, and now he's the one with the population advantage. That is mostly in the villagers, and Hera... Honestly, look at Hera's bank. It is not looking anywhere near as good as it was a few minutes ago.
Why did all this gold go? Some monks, yeah. Some rams, yeah. And some cataphracts at the top for the defense, but still. I'm a bit surprised.
Yeah, that is definitely a little bit odd. And something I noticed is MbL actually isn't mining all that much gold. Like, he's just not really spending it all that much. He has 65 farmers, only 28 lumberjacks. MbL has like almost double the farmers of his opponent.
65 and 36, indeed. Okay, but that might be some idols or something? Not really. Well, Hera? Well, he didn't lose units for quite some time. Ah, he went for all those arbalests. Okay, that makes sense. That's how he burned all his gold.
Oh, yeah. Duh.
5 traps now behind this, though. I think he can make another run for this castle. Down to 5k HP.
Indeed it is, and there really isn't a whole lot left here for MbL, but he has just reclaimed the score lead for the first time in a little while, and is going to be forcing Hera off of the gold to the south. Still has these several production buildings here in the north. That's just been a real annoyance for Hera for quite a while. Much more so than Hera's been able to make work from these stables on the right side.
Yeah, finally Hera's building a trap there at the top. Now it has 8 traps on the field. That's quite a bit. Meanwhile, pushed through the center, kind of stable there. It is really tricky to attack into Byzantines at the moment through the center.
Especially as Byzantines. Just don't really have the best pushing power in the world. Finally, we see that Hussar upgrade coming in for MbL, so he will have full upgrades on his trash. And as I keep on coming back to, Hera just doesn't even have the capacity to make halberdiers. I just love to see a ton of Hussars from MbL. I mean, he has the farmers. He has 72 farmers for a second.
That's sick, and he queues up more Hera queues up more villagers. On the other side, we have a full tech there as well. We have Hussars. At the moment, he only has, well, 10 or something queued up.
Only 10 Hussars. But yeah, no, I agree. It could be a little bit more. MbL now starting to prepare his own push. And yeah, Hera's really now at the limit in terms of resources. I don't think that Arbalest's switch got enough done for how much gold got invested into it.
Yeah, we questioned it heavily, and Hera wasn't able to prove us wrong, at least in this case. Halberdier count still pretty heavy for MbL. Those won't do too much. Bombard cannon micro in the center, really important. Lots of traps out by Hera, but what can they do at the moment?
Not a whole lot, in all honesty. Now the Halb's actually closing the distance onto the skirmishers. That's not what the skirmishers like seeing. But I'd just love to see a ton of Hussars here from MbL. I mean, get no halberdiers, just a lot of skirmishers and a few random siege units and arbalests, like just 40 Hussars coming in. It will be great against that.
Oh yeah, okay, but 40 Hussars, well, he can offer you 12. Will you take 12?
I will take no less than 40.
Okay, well then 12 aren't enough, but they go
Hussars.
to bombard cannons. That's still okay, in my opinion.
That is okay. The Hussars were all standing still for a second. I don't know if they were on stand ground or if it was just DE things. But yeah, that was definitely not that greatest for MbL, who's now fallen a little bit behind in population.
Still very active with the Hussars in the back here. Both players raiding each other heavily. Well, some defensive tower helping out a bit with the defense.
What I will say is that Hera's been having to spend a lot of food replacing villagers, whereas MbL hasn't as much. So I think that's definitely quite good for him. And he's still over north of 70 farmers, which I really like to see at this late stage in the game.
Yeah, just so good. Do we need to care about wood control on this map, or is there just always enough wood and you just need to expand a bit?
You do care about wood control, but I don't think quite yet.
Okay.
Because those acacia and baobab forests do have the extra 50 to 100 wood on them per tree. So that can definitely keep you going for quite a while. Looks like MbL is trying to ready another push here in the center with some trebuchets. Hera getting some nice raids in with these hussars for the first time in quite a while.
Actually, they're both getting massive raids in at the moment. So many villagers going down. KG just heavily jumped, although we didn't have the massive fight through the center. So both players, well, raiding like madmen.
Yeah, and I mean, how many ways can you exactly get that huge advantage in this situation? Honestly, having even just a couple monks to heal your random units, I mean, even if they're Byzantine trash units, this game is obviously going quite long, and every resource you can make count, I think is a good idea.
Yeah, I love monks in the back, and I think they're underutilized in situations like those where it's very stalemate. Army doesn't have to fight over and over again. Monk can be very protected behind the castles as well. Something I want to mention, look at kind of how could I describe it? Like 2 o'clock in the center of the map. MbL has 27 hussars there, parking and just waiting for another attack.
Yeah, that's getting closer to that 40, that arbitrary number that I am sticking with. But oh, hello, 4 siege rams coming out of nowhere. There aren't any bombard cannons on standby. There's also 2 more siege rams in the south. This could be a really good push here from MbL.
Indeed, and he will clear up the bottom raid with his halberdiers, push through the center, nothing really happening, and that's indeed what we want to see. Mass skirms, maybe some hussars, if only MbL knew about those. I think he completely forgot about them, but that castle might just fall, 8k HP, but no, I think Hera's sending enough.
Well, the thing for Hera is that for a long time, he only had arbalests queued up, and that is not the answer to a ton of siege rams. So once those hussars go down, the hussar reinforcements are going to be really limited. Like, look, now that all the initial hussars went down, the reinforcement numbers are not that high, but that is so many villagers repairing that 8,131 HP castle, highest HP of any building in the game. And yeah, that is one tanky castle.
Oh man, and yeah, I think it's still going down. 1 ram, some traps shooting behind this, and it wasn't 40 hussars, but it's a 30 hussar raid that is now coming in the eco of Hera. I would be surprised if he keeps his pop limit alive.
Yeah, that is going, and he's also had to sacrifice a ton of villagers when it comes to repairing this castle. But 3 trebuchets trying to save it. It's at 600 HP. 100. I think another volley will finish it off. These trebuchets aren't destroyed.
It should, and 100 HP, where's the next connection? It flies down, and the castle will fall. Big loss there for Hera, while still having massive amount of hussars in his own base.
Yeah, I mean, his population count overall is still fairly good, but he's in such an uncomfortable position. He's having to fight on a ton of fronts at once, and it's, as I tell people all the time, it's way easier to raid than to deal with a raid. So MbL, he's able to focus a lot more on this fight in the center and make sure he's getting much more out of it.
Yeah, that's true, and yeah, that's why you want to be the aggressor in the late game, and MbL is doing a beautiful job of that. Hera's trying to get counterattacks in, but it feels like MbL is dealing with it a bit better, now pushing quite nicely through the center. Hera drops below 160.
MbL really flexing his late game prowess in these really grindy sorts of situations. Hera having so many idle villagers all the time, MbL with around double the army. MbL has actually fallen to a pretty low villager count himself, but he's replacing with a huge military count, and honestly, like, if he just keeps this push through the center alive, it should be pretty good. Even town centering this forest here to the north center of the map.
North center of the map. Well, somewhere. Ah, okay. Yeah, well, that's just a massive amount of wood, so it makes a lot of sense, right? And, well, Siege now lost heavily here for MbL. 3-2 relics in favor of Hera, by the way. And, well, more and more villages going down, but on both sides, MbL now with 100 military on the field.
That's a lot of military. And, well, he doesn't have a ton of siege. It is mostly just the trash units, of course, even trying to get some forward siege workshops in. But Hera, he pretty much has one castle defending each section of his base. And so if any one of those castles falls, that's going to, essentially open up a third of Hera's base to being absolutely annihilated by raids. So like every single bit of defense Hera has is critical at this point.
Yeah, and at the moment his defense is some skirmishes at the left-hand side, now some villagers being sent into repair. He still has 600, but now pulling the boys and girls back to fighting against the Rams. Those are villagers not working, both now with 87 villagers. Ecos are so low. The armies they have at the moment have to be saved as long as possible.
Yeah, definitely, but MbL should have an easier time of doing that as he has the larger armor. Siege Ram coming in onto all of those low HP trebuchets. There's one trebuchet going down. Now attacking a monastery, but I think the splash damage might kill it. Nah, 11 HP.
Do we have some Twitch issues at the moment? I'm not dropping frames, people are massively complaining. Might be on the Twitch end, and apparently F5 helps, and yeah, we're just continuing normally here. The problem now for MbL in the center, he ran out of halberdiers to protect the skirmishers, and Hussars of Hera now doing a reasonable job of clearing up the center.
Yeah, Hera now starting to swing the fight back in his favor, but look how low that villager count is for Hera. He's down to 63 villagers. That's not good. That is about as high level of analysis as I can get.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm not sure if MbL knows that his opponent is so low, right? He is taking fights, he's getting pushed back, he sees villagers fighting at the left-hand side. So MbL, if you ask him, like, what do you think the population of Hera might be? He might probably say, yeah, my opponent is in pop limit, but he probably doesn't know that it's that low.
Yeah, that's fair. Pop can be kind of difficult to gauge in the late game, especially when there's just stuff happening everywhere. But I think MbL, like, he should still be able to take this opportunity. Just keep on raiding your opponent to death. Eventually, he's just going to run out of resources. And now you can see that map control is actually starting to swing in favor of MbL. Like, Hera did a really good job taking it in, like, the, late Castle Age, early Imperial Age. But now there's a little bit more red on the map than blue.
Oh yeah, not a little bit, honestly. It feels like he's controlling 70%. Another push through the center, lacking some siege. MbL pop limit, Hera at 130, has a lot of idle villagers, or not actually that many. Most of them died actually here at the right-hand side raid, not even making it into the castle.
Yeah, that was a massive Hussar raid there from MbL. Super nice for him, even sniping another trebuchet. It just seems like he's doing a bit of a better job taking these engagements in the late game. And Hera, he's had this actually huge clump of Arbalests, 20 Arbalests. For the longest time, they haven't actually been fighting much. So it's kind of weird, because that's obviously a very valuable portion of your population. MbL still with around 50 more pop than his opponent.
Yeah, but where do you want to have them fighting, honestly? Like, you don't want to have them at the front. They need to be in the very back line. Because, yeah, they aren't great. Like, you're just trading off your gold units. So they kind of have to be there for the defense against the Hussar raids.
Skirmishers just totally spazzed out for a second in the south. I don't know if you saw that. But MbL going to be pushing here with some more siege rams. Honestly, I think the Arbalest could be used for raiding at this point. Just because your opponent has to rally skirmishers to try and deal with it, and they're really not going to be doing a ton of damage in a straight-up fight.
I think Arbalests are fine to defend all the Hussar raids at the moment.
And I think that's what Hera's largely been using them for. But I still don't think it's amazing, as the Hussars can just run away. No. And now we have 3 Rams getting garrisoned with halberdiers for that little bit of extra damage and protection.
Yeah. And, well, the halberdiers are also safe from getting sniped by the skirmishers. Villagers now dying as well from the repair there. 2.7k HP. I think now it would be a good time to ungarrison the halberdiers against, because the Hussars are coming. But that castle might fall. Ram still a lot of HP, and the castle now below 1k.
Yep, that is getting pretty low. The siege rams are quite tanky, and that castle's going down. And like I said, that's essentially opening up a third of Hera's economy to raiding. Just non-stop for the foreseeable future. So I think that's actually a massive win for MbL.
Oh yeah, I love that. So many farms going down there as well. As you can see, like, that was the spot of 15 farmers earlier. Raids continuing at the top. Still stuff happening through the center. MbL, he's getting pushed back there with his super forward TC, but not the worst thing. He is ready to launch another attack through the center as well.
Yeah, and he's just doing such a nice job of maintaining around a 50 pop advantage. And honestly, I think it's been the raids that have done it. like MbL has really just been kind of pulling apart his opponent. Usually Hera is the one who's known for all of the Hussar raids, hither and or yon, but MbL definitely getting into Hera's eco way more often. Arbs are gonna possibly snipe a Treb.
Not even that's going to happen. They need to run. Skirmishers just chasing them away now. And yeah, Hera, he's just trying to stabilize. Let's get an update on how much wood he has. Oh, not getting the best control. Some at the top, and most of the other stuff is farmed out.
Yeah, definitely running low on wood soon. There's actually another bit of stone Hera can take pretty safely in the corner of the map, so I would recommend that.
I think he just scouted it.
Yeah, I think so as well. But more Hussars coming in here for MbL. Hera is sending in the Arbalest to deal with that, but that could open him up again at the front. And this is just a problem when you have less army than your opponent. It's going to be really hard to deal with everything on every front at the same time, and MbL doing a beautiful job splitting up the Hussars.
Yeah, but honestly, attack through the center isn't that scary because MbL is simply lacking the siege. He is now sending 2 traps forward. Hera did build a defensive bombard cannon there. Might get some defense in. I think MbL, he's now launching for a big attack. Every single waypoint is into the center now.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I would say MbL is known for. Just going for these huge fights in the middle of the map, just trying to smash your opponent in the face. And that's what these 2 Trebs are trying to do. Bombard Cannon is able to snipe 1 Trebuchet. That is obviously super huge. Here in come the Hussars. There are Halbs there to defend. But there still aren't that many. Oh, what's another MbL trademark? The Bombard
Outpost.
Tower.
Oh, okay. Where? Bombard towers? What? Oh, he's attacking them. 600 stone in the bank. That's actually pretty sick. I didn't expect that we would see those in this game.
And 1,500 gold. Like, MbL has barely been spending gold. So, yeah, that's another excellent way you can liquidate your gold. I would say the Bombard Towers are a safer bet for doing damage than Arbalests.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah, Bombard Cannon now going down at the front. Nothing there to really snipe the trap in the back. And indeed, Bombard Cannons now being built at that very crucial area. Oh god, I think if MbL just produces everything in the center there, he might finish the game.
I think so as well. Population is getting pretty close. Halberdier numbers are looking a little bit low. Hussars running in to try and snipe the Trebuchets, but if they snipe the Treb, which they almost certainly will, it doesn't snipe the Bombard Towers, and, this is some late-game MbL stuff right here.
Oh god, Skirmisher, Halberdier, Bomber Tower, he has to be happy with how this game is turning out for him. And yeah, I think he even built a bomber tower at the right hand side at the edge of the map that was denied there. I'm not really sure what he wanted to achieve with that one.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. There's actually a lot more stone for MbL to mine. I just noticed. Over on the right hand side,
Yeah,
there's like 6 tiles of stone to mine.
pretty sick.
That's
yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And well, 1 bomber tower should be good enough to do the defense there if he's actually, oh god, even seeing the raid and putting the villagers back. But Hera, he's making defense happen with the trap and the bombard cannon. And this has to be a pretty brutal game number 1 for them. Just remember, we could see 7 of those games.
Oh man. Well, I've got all Saturday.
Okay. Well, in less than 3 hours, we should start the second semifinal. Let's take a look if that's going to happen on time. At the moment, those 2 players just refusing to die.
Well, hard to blame them. I mean, this has been an hour and a half now, game time. You really, really don't want to, throw in the towel right now unless it's completely over. And I would say, yeah, MbL has a bit of an advantage, but it's not a game-winning advantage. Hera can certainly still make stuff happen in this game, but MbL now encroaching in the south with the Bombard Towers. That castle snipe earlier, like I said, it literally is just opening up a third of Hera's base.
Yeah, Hera has to be happy how the last, I would say, like 5 minutes went for him, right? He was pop 130 against a guy with 75% map control and complete pop limit, and now Hera, he's basically on even footage.
In terms of pop space, yes. But in terms of map control, MbL's actually, I would say, extended his map control lead in the last, few minutes. So it's kind of weird. A couple of siege rams coming in the south to deal with some bombard towers. But that's going to be some Arbalest dying to the big old cannonballs.
Oh yeah, let's take a look about that. And yeah, they're trying to split around the bomber cannons there.
Micro nerd.
Still having some losses. And honestly, like losing 7-8 Arbalest, that's not the end of the world for MbL.
Yeah, I mean, you'll take it if you're MbL. It's best you can. More villagers coming forward for more bombard towers.
Oh.
But looks like most of them are starting to fall. In the center, at least.
Lacking some halberdiers now, MbL. He's going for another raid at the very top. Arbalest. They're still patrolling. Hasa's not getting the kill in. This is brutal. Both players now with massive amount of idols. Impossible to control the raids everywhere.
Now, Nilly, I think we're at the point where wood matters.
Okay.
And look at this on the top right side of the map. Bombard towers coming in on like 2 of the only remaining wood lines of Hera. He has a few more baobab trees near his castle in the north, but like I think that's it.
And he's building bombard towers everywhere now. That's just crazy. Left hand side, no wood as you mentioned. Through the center, still the blocking TC by MbL. Yeah, it all is happening at the right hand side. And now we have pretty reasonable Hussar numbers clashing against each other at the right hand side.
Yeah, but 21 Hussars aren't going to take down 2 bombard towers. Oh no, that just smacks of desperation for Hera right there.
Oh, that's so much food going down there as well. And yeah, he needs to run away from that. Too much happening. And well, how much does Hera have on wood now? At the moment, 8 wood choppers only.
81 farmers, but only 8 lumberjacks. MbL has 28 lumberjacks by comparison. That's definitely pretty sick for him, having to run away with those villagers right there. But again, even if Hera's winning all these little individual battles, I mean, he does have around a plus 300 KD. It feels like he is losing the war, as MbL just is slowly but steadily taking more and more map control.
Oh man, more villagers dying here, and indeed, it was just basically the same resources for both players. Hera even banked them up a bit earlier, so that was nice for him, but then he decided to go for the Arbalest, and MbL, he just waited for his favorite unit, the Bomber Towers, to go for the full control, and gets more raids in now at the left-hand side with the Halberdiers into the woodline here of Hera.
Yeah, and of course, every lumberjack that dies, even if it has some wood on it, is that's going to be pretty painful for Hera. He is starting to get rid of some bombard towers, though, and is going to try and make a big Hussar raid happen of his own. 25 Hussars running through a bombard tower. But honestly, not much of MbL's economy is on the right side. It's mostly kind of in the center and south.
And if so, if you're trying to get in there, you're always fighting in bombard towers now. This is crazy. MbL, he's just so well protected against raids now.
Yeah, and like, bombard towers are just so good at just securing territory, and that is what this game is about at this point. Like, that is I think the decisive factor, and it's just so freaking hard to get rid of all these bombard towers, and it makes raiding a lot harder. And yeah, now MbL even bombard towering the right-hand side near his starting TCs, probably just so he can take the wood.
Yeah, just make it super protected in the long run. Pretty sweet moves. And yeah, he has some Halberdiers patrolling where Hera wants to raid. Hera scores still with a nice advantage, but I think that's simply because he killed so many Hussars over and over again when MbL was getting map control with his raids.
Yep, and it's one of those instances where even though the KD is now working and the score does lie, because again, it is all about that map control, Hera's raids just haven't gotten as much done. And MbL's still mining plenty of stone, by the way. Like, that's insane. He still has 10 stone miners across 3 different stone locations.
Oh god, he's still getting gold as well, and with pretty healthy gold mines there. 1.8k gold still to get for him. Now we're extending our Hussar raids into Halberdier raids, even in the back eco.
Well, you know, any unit that can make the raid happen, definitely want to go for it. More bombard towers coming in from MbL, more forward siege workshops.
But Hera is taking a beautiful fight through the center now. MbL a bit off position with all his skirmishers. They will all just vanish here. Both with reasonable military numbers. More Halberdiers coming over. I think Hera will lose all his Halberdiers, but the Hussars... Oh, no, he will lose all the Hussars. The Arbalest in the back still doing okay-ish.
I honestly don't think that fight mattered a ton either way. Because, like, the armies killed each other a bunch. None of the gold units really died, at least not in a major way. And MbL is still bombard towering all the wood lines.
Oh man, so active there, and that's where I really want to have Capture Age and know how many villagers died in this game. This has to be crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Hera lost over 500 villagers this game.
Yeah, no, that I think is actually a pretty reasonable bet.
Maybe not. Like, let's say over 300.
Yeah, I guess that would probably be. I'd say upwards of 400.
Okay.
Just because he's lost so freaking many, and there goes the one trebuchet of Hera going down. Hera's ahead by 20 pop, but it's still, like, he still looks to be in a horrible spot. It's so weird how that happens.
MbL, he's getting all his resources on the map at the moment. Only has 99 villagers. They are pretty protected behind the bombard cannons. I wouldn't mind if he gets 2-3 cycles in there and gets his eco a bit better.
Yeah, I'd say that'd be totally fine. A few more farmers, I think, especially. For more hussars. But it's a little bit of a stalemate in the center. But again, eventually Hera is just not going to have wood. He has 1 wood in the bank. He has a wood. Okay, well now some more villagers came in, but yeah, Hera doesn't have much wood.
Yeah, well, now he sends some more wood choppers to the right-hand side, but that's still the spot where we have the bombard cannon. They're all going to die. Hera, he has to be happy. Okay, he's still pop limit. MbL only at 160, but we still have to both say it looks better for MbL. What a crazy game.
Well, Tower is military, man, as a wise man once said.
Yeah.
And
even some balance patches said that, right?
Yeah, was it the Carlos patch that had Bombard Towers cost population?
Yeah. I think that's actually pretty good, especially for team games.
For team games, would probably be better than for 1v1s, because I think this, like, I really like how MbL's been using these Bombard Towers here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the ARB numbers are only at 7.
Ooh.
So that sort of gold aspect of Hera, it's an ending. Like, eventually the utility of that gold is no more than the Arbalest die. The Bombard Towers, meanwhile, they're able to retain that value a lot longer.
Yeah, but they're also way more costly, right? The stone. By the way, Hera built another defensive castle at the left-hand side after he completely mined the stone. Next push through the center, not really happening for now. 2 traps. Both players back to pop limit on Lu.
What is it with us in casting incredibly long Serengeti games?
Yeah,
it's supposed to be a fast map.
Yeah, well, not with MbL. They were master of cockroaching in Age of Empires, and obviously Byzantines, not the Civs that provides very short games either.
Indeed not. But yeah, another big push getting prepared here by MbL, as you're saying. Honestly, Monastery could be sniped. I mean, it only has 1 relic in it, but still.
Yeah.
It's a much easier target to take down than a castle, but is that what MbL is going for? No, it's for the castle. Perspective is hard.
Yeah, I think castle makes a lot of sense, forcing him into a lot of investment. That's 2 massive armies, though. What is that, like 180 military at the moment on the screen in the center? That's going to be a tough fight to control.
Near enough, but the Halbs should be huge difference makers. I love how Hera is splitting up the Hussars, though. Just trying to get the best concave possible. And will likely at least snipe 1 trebuchet, actually probably going to get both. But that is a lot of dead Hussars.
Yeah, he lost the left-hand side completely. Did get all 3 traps behind us, so that was a nice move. But yeah, there was a lot of army lost by him as well. He is at 400 food still. Massive production of Hussars behind this. But MbL, he should just be able to patrol in with his halberdiers now.
Yeah, but, Hera never even got pikemen in this game. And I think that's just a big problem. It's, one large part of your trash army that you're missing. And yeah, Hera just doesn't really have the wood to spend on even a lot of skirmishers at this point. Skirmishers are an expensive unit. Byzantine skirmishers at this stage in the game.
They somewhat are, yeah. And we're looking at Hera's wood chopper count here. We're up to 11, then another bombard cannon flies in, and we're down to 10. And, well, production continues, but not too pretty for Hera there. Yeah, he only can go for Hussars. So I think if MbL is just going Halberdier Ram, there's no way of stopping it.
I 100% agree. And looks like MbL has finally exhausted his stone. So I don't think there will be any more Bombard Towers, but even just the ones that exist right now, I think that should be enough. It controls almost all of the remaining wood on the map.
Yeah, it's just so good indeed. Like, where we have some idols, but, well, all the defense there at the right-hand side is just massive. Still has gold there at the right-hand side as well. Another raid here, and MbL, he just stays so active. Now pushing through the center, but only one trap. But now look at Hera's resources. Absolutely at the limit with everything.
What Hera resources? Yeah, like... MbL garrisoning another ram with skirmishers of all things. That one isn't too useful. Okay, now he ungarrisons that, but castle, it's getting low, and Hera has no stone.
Hera is now going for the counter attack. Takes a solid 14 hussars here at the front, some more in the back. Tries to make something happen, but I think there are enough halberdiers patrolling at home to even stop those raids.
Yeah, I think that MbL should be fine. And that's only hussars is the only thing that Hera can make a lot of. He's making villagers and hussars and actually 2 arbalests for some reason, but castle down in the center of Hera's base. That's sort of been anchoring him this entire game. And this is just going to open up a massive amount of farmers to being raided to death or just killed by skirmishers.
Man, massive military counts for both players. 110 against 90. Halberdiers in the center. The monastery could fall behind this one as well. At the moment, it's only hussars here for Hera. 4 villagers on wood. He cannot take reasonable fights. He simply doesn't have army composition anymore. It's only hussars from here on.
Yeah, and MbL, he realizes this. He's just making halberdiers. And what's MbL doing with these villagers? Oh, it's another bombard tower. Who would have thunk?
Oh, sick. Where did he get those resources from? Did he buy stone?
I wouldn't be surprised. He still has plenty of gold left. That's just insane.
Push through the center continues. Now it's 2 against 2 relics.
Yeah, and MbL can grab that pretty much whatever he wants. It's going to be under a bombard tower. Yeah, I actually don't see Hera's win condition in this game.
Has to be massive hussar raids, but honestly, how? MbL, maybe if he loses the key for production of halberdiers, maybe the keyboard breaks.
MbL rage right there. Yeah, the thing is, Hera's not going to be able to reseed farms soon. He already has some farmers who are idle, just because he hasn't had the wood to replenish the farms.
Ooh, MbL even yoinking the relic, so he will have the 3 relics. That's beautiful by him. Oh,
yeah, definitely.
Away. Yeah. Halberdiers still through the center, raids at the left-hand side. Hera, those are too many fires to put out. 160 out of 175 now. Right-hand side fighting under bombard cannons. He still likes his hussar count. I can understand that. How many hussars does he have? He has 50 hussars on the field, but still, he can't win anywhere.
Like, yeah, like what do the hussars do? Like, I mean, the raiding hasn't really been enough. MbL is patrolling, what, 40-some halbs at home? Like, he's fine.
Yeah, that's
just... Oh, look at the BM, Nelly! Right where Hera's first castle used to be.
Oh, the outpost rush here by MbL. He says, get out of my game, boy! This is not yours to win anymore. And yeah, MbL, he gets very impatient in those games. He still plays them down, but he sees, okay, I have all the map control. Where are you getting wood? You are not really taking any good fights for at least 1 hour. This is my game number 1.
And I think it is. I talk of get out of my game castles. I've never seen get out of my game outposts. At least not in DE. I think.
Oh, those are 8 get out of my game outposts. He's invested all his remaining 40 stone into those outposts.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, Hera still has 160 pop, but he's not even at 200 pop max right now. He lost his starting TC.
Oh goddy. Yeah, and that makes the farmers so inefficient around this. Look at that. I have to walk miles to get to those mills. Hera, it is tricky to judge situations in those games. You're still getting some raids in, you see some idle farms, but yeah, there's not a lot of going forward at the moment.
And MbL still has another like 1,000 gold to mine, which is crazy at the almost 2-hour mark in a game. Yeah, like MbL, I don't see how he loses this.
Ooh. What is your mindset after this game? How exhausted are you? 2 hours pure action.
Oh, MbL just smashes that, find match button. Like, this is just another day for MbL.
Yeah.
Hera, I think, should be fine as well, but they're definitely gonna probably want a short break after this game.
Yeah, luckily it's the first game for both of them. They didn't play beforehand. Just think about it. If you already streamed like 2-3 hours and tried to get like warm before the series, and then you get into this one, your opponent has such an advantage. But in this one, both players with their first game.
Oh, look at this huge Hussar attack here from Hera. This might be his blaze of glory right here, but there are 7 bombard towers to work through.
Yeah.
Ugh.
How do you deal with those?
What are those Hussars doing?
Some of them chilling.
That was weird.
Now we're back in attacking Halberdiers. MbL takes half of them, sends them over to the side. Pop on 30 for Hera now, and, well, not really producing any villagers with 69. Well, now he queues up some more.
Yeah, but that's the only thing he's making right now. Okay, now he queues up some Hussars, but... yeah, Hera just has very little income left at this point. Like, he's trying to kill the lumberjacks, and, I mean... yeah, sure, but... 80 food a Hussar is more expensive than 50 food a villager.
Nelly math checks out.
And in come a bunch of halves, as you were saying, with some Hussars to back them up against the skirmishers. MbL with double the military count, all the map control, and yeah, it's just going to be killing farmers with halberdiers at this point.
It seems like Hera had a bet that he wins 4-0 or something. That's like surprisingly long, him staying in this game. Honestly, pop 110, you lost the relics at the front, you don't have any wood income, you didn't take any like super sick fights in the last half hour. He has some fighting spirit.
There was a ladder game in the past week. I'm not sure if you cast it between Viper and Hera.
Yeah.
That was like 2.5 hours.
I heard even 3 here.
Oh, I don't even remember. I was brain dead at that point. But the game is over, says DE. And wow, just under 2 hours.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was over for quite some time, but obviously you want to fight this one out. This is at least the most prestigious tournament of the last 3 weeks. And
congratulations, Ellie.
And it's in the semifinals, right? You want to continue, you want to play, and from here on we won't have any more mirror games. MbL takes the first one, and he has to be on Cloud 9.
No, MbL actually plays on AM.
Oh!
Oh man, but yeah, that definitely has to be a great confidence boost there for MbL. Negative KD by a little over 200. Less gold collected.
That's sick.
But look at the wood collected. That's the difference maker right there.
Oh yeah,
17K?
17k more there. Hera really struggling, and that's why he was forced into so many Hussars and never really take to Halberdiers. That was really surprising to us. Relics, slight advantage there for Hera. Wow, what a sick 2-hour game to start off our day of potential 14 games only.
Oh man, yeah, this is gonna be pretty sick. So yeah, now we're actually going to jump into the whole fair Civs bit of the tournament, where it's Hera picking the map and the Civs, and MbL deciding who plays what.
Indeed, and well, we're expecting some kind of stronger civilizations from those two, but yeah, also the question, what map do you want to go for? I honestly wouldn't be surprised if Hera now feels confident on islands. He had great performances against Tado in NAC and here in FCC.
Yeah, it's definitely something that Hera's been practicing now that he knows that longboats are good. Now the world is his oyster shell. He can just do what he wants. But yeah, honestly, like MbL, it's no secret that he does not like water maps.
Mm-hmm. We also have
it's really hard to build bombard towers on water.
And yeah, brutal game. Honestly, number 1.
Yeah, that was definitely brutal. I think islands and then Italians, Japanese. Like, you're fine with either of those. They do the same thing.
But then you're giving your opponent an advantage, right? I think something like Japanese Vikings might be better.
Do you really think Italians are that much better than Japanese?
People say it.
But with 0 balance changes, like, people preferred Japanese, like, you know, a few months ago.
Yeah, but people were wrong.
I think the more that the meta favors galleys, the comparatively worse Japanese become, because then their super tanky fishing ships aren't nearly as valuable.
Well, tricky stuff. And yeah, we will wait till they jump into the game. I will answer some questions of my chat. Be right back.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this show. We're here with Mr. Onlu, Brutal Game number 1. Nilly, why you never show the relics? I showed them several times, and also you can ask the chat. Will Viper and Lyri start later, or are you gonna cast the Rex if it takes so long? They will start later. If we are in game 5 or something in the 4-hour mark, we will need to talk to them. Yeah. Sup, babies? Hey, yo, thanks for your prime. Over 6k viewers combined. Isn't that lovely, guys? And that is after game number 1 of this crazy day. So we might break 10k viewers tomorrow. Yeah, actually likely, right? What do you think about the pathing improvement? Seems like Scout bugged out a lot. I think it looked really good every time I played so far. Change stream time to 24-hour stream. We will see about that. I like Ondu as a co-caster, so do I. And then we'll see what will be up. Okay, so it will be Cross as our next map. And we have Hera offering 2 civilizations. He offered Japanese and he offered Persians. Guys, what do you think? What did MbL go for? Did he go for Persians or did he go for Japanese here on Cross? What do you think? I see Japanese, Persians, Jabs, Persians, Japanese, Persians, Japanese, Persians. Yeah, more of you think it's Persians, and we are jumping into it together with Mr.
We're in, Nilly.
Olu. Indeed. Persians against Japanese. What do you think? Why did MbL go for Persians here?
Well, I mean, I think both of these civs are incredibly strong. Some people even saying that Persians are now overpowered. I think they are on Nomad, but on Cross, I think it should be pretty even. The faster working docks doesn't seem like MbL's doing the max thing, where you go for the dock initially, but still faster working docks. You know, just a good land civ in general, and same with Japanese. Like, these are just 2 great hybrid map civs.
And I think the max thingy only works if you spawn a bit closer to the water, right? You don't want to just randomly go into that corner, but also MbL, not really the guy who comes up with building or openings like those. Hera would neither. We talked about that. And yeah, Persians, as you said, considered to be OP by some people. I think Japanese, well, they have an incredible control over the water as well. Army compositions are going to be tricky, though. Maybe Skirm's Arbalest in the long run against what Persians has to offer, and if he goes for a lot of Paladins, mix in some Halberdiers.
Yeah, I mean, this is honestly like a classic matchup, I feel. Like, I feel like I've seen this so many times, and, you know, it comes down to the power of Persian cavalry versus Japanese halberdiers. I kind of like Japanese a little bit as the game goes on. Just because you have good monks potentially, you have halberdiers against cavalry, which is pretty good, and it helps mitigate the fact that the Persian boom is stronger in that you have the very good fishing ships to help get you through mid game.
Yeah. I think Japanese are absolutely an option. You can get onto really early imp with mass Arbalest as well, and then it's not that easy for a Persian player to defend this. So I think that's something we could really go for. We didn't discuss how the map is shaped, though.
It's shaped like a cross.
Oh, no, I mean, like, how are the resources distributed for the players here? I like that MbL has a defensive gold. Really open berries, though.
Yeah, Barry's definitely... fair bit open. Honestly, just the whole front of his base is so open in general. Not the biggest fan of it in the world. Oh, Hera finding the villager of MbL before it could even get the dock down. So now the villager's going to be a little bit trapped.
Maybe you want to fast forward a bit.
Sorry. Yeah, so Hera getting his own dock down just fine. MbL will get his up eventually. Hera taking some nice high ground fights. And everything seems more or less hunky-dory. What do you think of Hera's map, though?
Well, it looks a bit more clumped up, which is pretty nice if you're Japanese, right? You want to be like walled in one screen. You're fine with going for 1 TC action. And, well, villager not killing the board there. So, I think a compact map feels reasonable. Some production at the right-hand side, but, or like behind the gold. But it's not too great either.
Yeah, both stones are forward, notably, and right next to each other. So MbL wanted to go for some silly tower rush crazy nonsense. It wouldn't be theoretically that bad. It's actually pretty close to a wood line as well. But I don't think that is too likely. The one concern I have for Hera is that his golds are just in such a bad spot. His secondary gold.
Yeah, they are super open.
They're
Pretty
in
much
the
as
middle
open
of
as
the map.
MbL's. I hate by MbL that he is not scouting at the moment. That is so bad in my opinion. He's pushing more deer, still didn't scout at the 7.5 minute mark. Does he know what Hera is doing or what? He could be surprised by so much. Could be man-at-arm opening, it could be archers, could just be walls FC. And MbL, you need to kind of react to that.
But like the reaction of MbL to literally exactly the same. It's MbL. He doesn't scout. He just does the same thing that's like sort of okay against everything.
That's not how RTS should work.
But it's how MbL works, and he actually is going for the forward.
Oh,
Wait, what the? He doesn't even know that his opponent's map is bad.
he rushes now.
Look at this. He's just sending villagers forward with the scout.
He has no idea. And Hera, he is scouting in the back. Didn't see the villagers on stone either. So Hera actually has the scout at the front, but doesn't get the intel.
Feels bad, man.
Oh, Hera, that's a weird move by him. He is building the barracks now, but will get some towers in his face next to his main gold spot and the berries. This is like the perfect outcome MbL could have dreamed of.
Oh man, that's pretty hilarious, honestly. Feudal Age times should be pretty similar. MbL with just a couple more villagers due to the faster working Persian TCs as Hera goes to the north to build another dock right there. But MbL is going to find a really nice position to tower. He sees at least that one of his opponent's golds goes forward.
Oh man, that is so incredibly lucky, and also very unlucky for Hera that he didn't have a single unit there to scout this. He will have some towers in his face. We'll never expect that from a Persian player.
No, it's not the sort of thing that you would expect with the Civ at all, but it's what MbL's doing. The first tower isn't actually going to deny like anything.
Well, gold and berries for the long run.
The long run, but it doesn't do anything in the short run, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but that tower will definitely push his opponent off the wood line.
Or at least
yeah.
yeah,
go ahead.
Well, some more walls. Hera will have the better eco in the long run, having 2 pawns for himself at 1 point. MbL, he walled everything off there. He will create a small arena for himself. Not the greatest gold control. This is so weird. Does Hera even know that the trash is really coming?
Now he does.
Well, the first tower was already shooting at his house as well. And now he sends 5 villagers onto stone. Not even needed. Switches into a stable. Hera goes into scout counterattack into walled MbL. This, like, I can't believe it, but this worked out perfectly for MbL here.
I don't know how he just made that all work, but he's well on his way to making it all work. He scouts out both of his opponent's stones at this point. Is he even going to be bypassing the tower on the lumber camp? I don't think so. But yeah, this is obviously a really tricky situation for Hera to defend, because MbL is going to be pretty much fully walled, as you were saying.
MbL perfect scouting behind this as well, right? He sees the stable, he knows, okay, I need to wall my berries and my stone at the front as well. He should be fine with the perfect reaction. Still no barracks from him though, right? Yeah. So he needs to be walled.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's definitely something he needs to do. But the scout numbers for Hera are only at 2. Oh, MbL not going to be successfully docking his opponent's pawn to the north, so that's going to be a much-needed win for Hera right there.
Indeed. Hera actually worker behind there. At the bottom, we have MbL with the villager there, so it might be 2 against 2 dogs, but I think Hera could maybe contest the pawn at the bottom at some point.
Yeah, definitely. It's not very well defended for MbL. Tower coming up for both players. Hera does actually have plenty of stone in the bank for another one, should MbL want to go to the south. But no, MbL is actually rotating back towards his initial 2 towers. I'm not too sure what he's going to do with these guys. What's the play right now for MbL?
It feels like, how's it called in American football? When the crowd gets together and they're discussing the strategy.
Huddle?
Huddle. A huddle. Exactly.
Yeah,
It looked like a huddle.
Yeah. There we go. Okay, just another tower coming in here for MbL. Hera will be doing the same. He is building it with 5 villagers to 4, but MbL's tower is so much faster that I think he will be fine. At least both towers should get up. Oh, and Hera trying to dock the south, but Mr. Ornlu says no.
Oh,
That's going to be unfortunate.
Oh, yeah. He didn't build a palisade there. Just clicked to the bottom. Didn't scout it, and therefore the villager isn't fighting back. Sloppy move by Hera, honestly. Just right-clicking there at the bottom.
Yeah, that's definitely a mistake that you don't want to be making. Oh, now he's trying to go for the quick walls. Ornlu don't care. Or maybe he does.
1 HP saved there for Hera. That was a lot of clicking, though. Now he probably sends those 2 scouts over to kill the wolf, and then he's trying to build the dog. So much more work than he wanted to do there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, MbL is just chilling at home. He has a 3 villager or worker advantage. What's the resources? Hera's close to Castle Age. MbL isn't too far away. With the faster working Persian TCs, I think it should be pretty close.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Oh, look at this galley from MbL. It is right in the perfect position. He sees the the palisades.
Oh yeah, sees the wolf as well. Yeah, indeed perfect. Look at how little vision he has on the spawn. But yeah, that's perfect. And now 4 scouts are coming over, trying to free this one. Actually, the 4 scouts could even win against the galley.
I mean, if the galley was just attacking on the shoreline, but yeah.
Yeah.
Castle Age now coming in here for Hera. And he's
the
going with
market?
the gold way over in Narnia.
Yeah, he had to, right? We mentioned 2nd and 3rd gold spot were really bad. And first one, or main gold spot, was towered away there as well. So has to expand and luckily found that spot.
Yeah, definitely. I guess he could have gone with the gold right in front of his wood line, but he definitely does want to push in this direction in general. He's just going to really need to defend it against any units from MbL, who has just clicked up to Castle Age himself.
If you go for that one at the front, then MbL will always have another spot where it can be annoying, right? It opens up for another pushing spot. There will be towers. Like, you need to have like 3-4 towers to have a proper spot there.
Oh yeah, I just built 3-4 towers, but that's just me.
Okay.
In MbL, does he know about the gold miners right there? No, he does not actually. Okay, so that's definitely something that's really good for Hera. And in this position, do you just add extra TCs, or do you try and make another aggressive play?
Well, at the moment, neither player even has 100 stone, so I think MbL can kind of decide what he wants to go for. Hera at the moment, he doesn't know if he can do damage against MbL. Just
Well,
being
Hera's just going to be throwing down another TC, so I think he bought 100 stone or something.
Oh yeah, might be it. He also has 5 villagers on stone, so
Yeah,
that
that's
should be
fine.
doing something.
And if nothing else, what's that villager doing? It is really taking the long way around to
get the woodline, right? I'm not really sure
Yeah.
how she walked in there.
Yeah, that's interesting. And MbL is continuing with these towers. I feel like these additional towers have like very diminishing returns. Like, what does the tower to the right of Hera's main gold do that the tower on the gold didn't do?
Ah, well, help out in the tower fight. But he's not really sending any villagers in, so he's not actually taking the tower fight.
Yeah. Not too sold on that. I do like how Hera is. He's even using the from the wolf incident to help wall in the villagers on the gold.
Ah, yeah. Sweet stuff there. And, well, economy is pretty similar behind the spearman for the defense. MbL now tags into crossbowman. That's interesting.
You need a castle for your crossbows to not cost gold. But with all of the towers around for both players, you'd think that knights would be the better option, as they can shrug off the arrow fire much more easily.
Or maybe CA for the mobility. I don't think that crossbowman necessarily is the best unit here.
Yeah, I think both of those options would be better, to be honest. But it's what MbL's going for. And honestly, Hera, near his stones, like in between them, is a very exposed part of his base if MbL can get there.
Oh yeah, can get through there, can get onto the wood line, which is super inefficient, by the way. They would love to see another lumber camp. And Hera, his boom isn't rolling completely, but obviously a lot of the eco is still on water.
Yep, but that's going to be pretty nice for Japanese, as they will have 15% faster working fishing ships at this stage. And MbL is going with the forward town center. It is a forward Persian town center, but it is not a douche.
What?
I know.
What?
It's a strange world we live in.
Yeah, I think that's just for production to continue repairing or something, or he simply didn't know what to do with his villagers there. He's trying to go for the quick walls. Failed the first round, but the second round looks solid there, and yeah, shouldn't really be broken.
Mangonel is coming.
Mangonel is coming also.
86%.
That could go into the villagers. Mangonel against Mangonel. Villagers are moving out there, trying to make something happen. Moving around, clicking on the TC now.
No, it's not.
3 villagers. Oh no!
Oh, he gets it!
Oh, with the last hammer there. That was so sick. Jumps into the TC as well. The Mangonel didn't get the kill. A nice split by MbL. And then right-clicking behind this. The scouts were around, but didn't get the block. Sick move by MbL.
That was so sick. He needed to split those villagers like perfectly there, but he got her done. Crossbowman with Bodkin here. Hera is up on his own third town center and is actually well ahead in terms of villager count. Also with guard tower now in. What does MbL really do here to hurt his opponent?
Just go, like, if you go for 4, 5 Mangonels, you can take guard towers down quite easily as well. And at the moment he has 2 more in the queue. I think if he just goes for some more houses, add some TCs in the back, he can just continue with this aggression. And like, he's controlling so much of the gold, right? Hera needs to make something happen in the long run.
Yeah, that's true. But that's why Hera should just get masonry. Helps a ton.
Well,
Just saying. Extra 150 HP. It actually can save your guard towers in a lot of situations.
Let's see. Also 3 defensive Mangonels is nice for Hera. Crossbowman out for MbL. Not really sure what angle they will find for an attack.
Not too sure either. Hera's knight upgrades aren't the greatest, but relative to the crossbow numbers, it seems like it's fine. And actually, we'll be able to get a couple crossbow kills right there is Hera. Mangonels. I'm not going to find anything.
Yeah, crossbowmen are running away. Now we have Monk out. Goes for the Mangonels in the back. Where are all the Mangonels of MbL here? Okay, 2 in the back, 2 still in the siege workshop. Crossmen running away through the center. We now have Stable being added by MbL. Mangonels in the center, shooting away, going for the fake split.
Poke. There's one dead Mangonel. So that's something. Mangonel's now going to be attacking from the high ground onto the TC of MbL, which is nice. Also, Hera is not far away at all from a castle, considering he can make one at any time. So you could castle drop at that point, and it might be okay.
Where do you want to see the castle? Maybe in front of his towers there, next to his main gold spot? But then double mangonel could be really ugly for him.
It could. He could also delete the house and then build it next to the TC. Kind of accomplishes the same thing. But, we'll see. He should spend the stone, though. He should build the castle.
Oh, he needs to find a good spot first, in my opinion. Mangonel now needs to run, gets killed there with the attack bonus. Crossman trying to get some vision here.
They are. This is a really tricky engagement for both these players. Nice hit there for Hera. Should be able to save that Mangonel, no problem.
15 workers ahead. MbL with more military. What are those Mangonels doing against each other? Not too much. Spearmen are coming over. Monk probably wants to go for a conversion. Tricky spot, the TC. Luckily, still standing here for MbL, since he has so much more HP with the Persians.
Indeed, that is very helpful for him right there. And that is that another Mangonel in that monastery, yes, or in the siege workshop. And now even coming with another siege workshop as MbL. Is he one TCing this? No, he is on at least the 3. Wait.
4. He has 4 TCs. He's building one at the bottom there next to the gold as well.
Miscap trade showing me where all the TCs are.
Yeah, I only have it because I have the group for all my TCs when I'm playing, so I can press the same. Okay, now the aggression through the center. No Mangonels really to block that castle from going up here. Hera, I think with all those guard towers around it, I think he should get the castle up. Mangonel style as well.
That shouldn't be an issue. And that means he can get Yasuma.
Oh! Let's see how important that's going to be, because he already had some defensive towers. Had to invest into a castle. And no extra stones around for him at the moment. MbL far away from Imperial Age here. While Hera, he just needs some gold or could use the market.
And I think that's exactly what he just did.
And
does he...
Clicking up.
No, he has the buildings.
Yeah, no, he's up to in the main TC.
There you go.
It just didn't show because it was queued up behind one villager. And now we can see it in the overlay as well. Population, small lead there for MbL. But what can he really do against Arbalest Elite Skirmisher? I think he should just get wrecked here in Castle Edge. Now builds a castle at the hill. That won't really help him in the trap war either.
Not remotely. And yeah, this is kind of a huge problem for MbL. One bit of silver lining, though. Hera's out of gold. He just ran out of gold in the south.
Ugly. Let's take a look at the prices here. We have wood to sell 41, food to sell 68. So heavily market used already here by Mr. Hera. And yeah, doesn't make the prices better. He needs to win the trap war to free his main gold.
MbL has no production right now.
Interesting.
He's just banking up for Imp.
Indeed.
So with 15% faster working TCs, his Imp won't be too much slower than that of his opponents. Also, he can go grab Kemendarin right now for those trash bows, and then he can really start to pump those guys out.
Oh, and Hera wanted to go through the center and get some TCs up next to the gold spot, but MbL, that's what I said, he can be super annoying and push the center there. Did build a second siege workshop, and yeah, is blocking that gold spot quite beautifully. Even a third siege workshop here, 2 in the center, 1 at the top. That went
well, if at first you don't succeed, Mangonel again. And that should be pretty nice for MbL, because like Hera has a lot of stone, but you don't really want to be selling all of that. And it's not even like Japanese have guilds to help you out.
Yeah, and it's an Imtech as well. He already used the market heavily in Castle Age. And, well, all the control in the center will be interesting. Now we see some defense upgrades for the infantry and foraging as well. Meaning Hera is also ready to transition into some halberdiers.
I guess he's predicting his opponent to go for cavalry. And that's not really what MbL is doing, though. So I'm not too sure on the Hal play. Oh, nope, never mind. Just as I say that, he queues up scale barding and some scouts.
Interesting. Well, the question is how much map control will he really have, and isn't Hera maybe not too clumped up to really get the side raids in? On the game before we saw that because, well, Hera was so open. This time everything very clumped up and we already had the defensive towers. Makes raiding trickier as well. Trap War should be won here. Now we are Imp. And what is this? Onager attack to start this one off. Interesting choice.
It's gonna be pretty good though. Against Skirmisher plus Arbalest, potentially. Should work pretty well. Treb's now queued up here for MbL, but the problem is he has no stone, and Hera still has plenty of stone. And he's even getting another castle up on this hill to the south. That is going to be an excellent position from which to push his opponent.
Oh, MbL down to his eco. Slightly in the thousand. He has his other stone spot, but never scouted that one. And that's what I said. Like, he had some scouting issues, pushed way too many deer there, and, well, now has to pay the price for it. No stone transition for him.
Well, he should assume his stone is there, because he scouted everything else.
Yeah.
His stone can only be so far away.
Yeah. That's actually true, but he isn't realizing it.
Well, maybe the university will see it. But regardless, Hera is going to take this much-needed main gold of his as the castle of MbLs. Will eventually fall. Trebuchet actually does finish. Which it's not getting attacked, actually. Okay, well, now the Halps will attack it.
Yeah. Okay, skirmishers should help out there, finishing off the trap. That's 200 wood, 200 gold gone. MbL still with one other trap there at the top. And, well, army compositions now. Onager and Crossman from our Persian player, something we don't see too often. Japanese player goes for a big mix. Skirmisher, Halp, Lightcav, and soon, most likely, Arbalest would mix in as well.
Yep. MbL did manage to get the TC up at the north, which is fine. There's also a neutral gold, well, a technically neutral gold that's very, very close to MbL's base, so he's going to be able to get that in the long run as well. But Hera's just going to be glad to have some gold income in the near future.
Oh, that was painful, yeah. I was probably thinking about it the last 27, 28 minutes. Just like, oh god, early tower rush there. How do I ever get this back? All my other golds look pretty bad as well. He luckily found the extra gold spot at the bottom. And now finally can breathe and can go for the units he wanted to go for. But for now, still only trash units.
Beautiful Onager hit right there for MbL. Killed a bunch of his opponent's army. But MbL's army count in general is looking pretty low. Doesn't really seem to have a good, like, core to his army. There's no, like... There's just no massive, cheap or powerful unit.
Bit surprising, right? He has 122 workers there. Now takes into more defense upgrades, goes into some skirmishers, forging, just really late, and not a lot of production facilities in general. Look at that. 1 archer range, 5 skirmishers queued up, and, well, 1 stable with 4 scouts as well. Not too pretty. He needs more archer ranges and stables.
Yeah, certainly. 4 onagers will be able to take down this guard tower pretty quickly, so that shouldn't really be an issue. But yeah, I feel like at this point Hera can just grind down his opponent.
Ooh, but Onager shots are really good against all the halberdiers, and then it's skirmishers alone. They won't do too much against all those onagers that are now moving forward. Skirmishers here could die, but not really getting the shots off. Oh, Hera needs to split, but loses half of his army.
That's definitely not ideal. By the way, Yasuma and arrow slits. Both of the arrow slits techs have been researched for Japanese.
Okay, sweet stuff there. So those towers are going to be really sick. No keep upgrade yet. Lightcav are moving in, getting the kills against the bombard cannons there. And yeah, still no raids in the back. Would love to see Hera getting some more control. He did build some Lightcav, and yeah, that again will be a very methodical push through the center with important areas. Last time we had tilts, this time we have the gold spots.
Yeah, and Hera does not have comfortable control over either of his golds. He's trying to creep forward with some guard towers, which I like because it's really important to just slowly secure that map control, just because there isn't as much, pathable area due to all the pawns. Like we saw at who is it, Lan, make really good use of that by just going for a, big slow push through the middle that you couldn't raid behind.
Mm-hmm. You mean the land versus release game where he won against 3 pawns?
Yeah, that one.
Japanese. Yeah, he is very methodical there. And oh, what's also methodical is if you want to lose bombard cannons, just put them in the front and don't protect them. And Skirms can go in and snipe them. And that's exactly what MbL wanted to do, at least achieved, even if he didn't want to do it. And Onagers are now getting sniped behind this as well. Nice move in, but big Onager connection against it as well.
Yeah, I mean, when you have that many onagers, chances are something will get done, and indeed that happened right there for MbL, who is catching up militarily compared to his opponent.
Yeah, but losing like 10 skirmishes there isn't too bad if you kill 2 bombard cannons and 4 onagers behind this as well. Oh, but both players can just heavily produce, and Persians, they should get the better trash in the long run, having hussars, bloodlines, or like, no, they have bloodlines for both now.
Really, they've had bloodlines for a few years now.
It's all new to me.
Oh, man.
But hussars.
Yeah, the hussar is definitely going to be a big difference maker. But we have to consider Japanese halberdiers versus trash bows. Which is better in these sorts of scenarios? Because both are super good.
Yeah, I think the trash bows might be a bit better against the light cav and halberdiers. Especially if you have some onagers with it, your the typical counter of the skirms isn't that efficient.
Yeah, and then I think on top of it, because Japanese missed the last armor upgrade, this makes the crossbows, I think, that much more effective, you know, in clearing them up.
Mm-hmm.
We could be going into another long one, though, Nelly.
Yeah, well, we could be, right? The series already is lasting 2 hours after starting time. And, well, game number 2 is not done yet. Pretty crazy.
I would say it's not even especially close to being done right now.
Yeah, both is very high populations, very stable approaches everywhere as well. Light cav are moving in, trying to snipe some traps. Hera, he's trying to stabilize with some more towers in the center.
I just noticed Hera's score is insanely higher than MbL's.
Mm-hmm.
That is surprising. I feel like it's, you know, Hera has a lead, but it's still pretty close right now.
It's 1k from economy, 1k from the tax. Military has actually 1.5k more. Seems like he killed the more important army, because KD is pretty similar, but yeah, it's traded off onagers against skirms. That's how we got
that makes sense. And there's Keep coming in here for Mr. Hera. Will be done in just a second, and there is some 15 times 3 attack keeps. Those are mini bombard towers.
Yeah, those are pretty crazy, and well, they're hitting so much better as well, right? And what?
The game is over. Huh?
Was there a drop? Or GG? I'm asking them.
Wait a minute. Triarm is saying in my chat that MbL never got Kamandaran.
Yeah, I don't think so either. He never had a castle, so... Like, he had the castle at the top.
Yeah, but he... Oh yeah, I never got it. Damn.
So MbL's name is erased here. With Pop 183... Yeah, he was facing the key push now. It's kind of disrespectful to ask them if it was a drop or...
I still think it needs to be done, though.
Yeah.
And I get to say, I'm glad I'm not the one who has to do that. But... I mean, MbL's at 183 pop.
Well, and he's raiding with light cav at the top.
Like, yes, Hera has the advantage, but I don't think it's like a game-winning advantage.
Might it just be a spectator drop? Because, like, they're not answering me either, so they might just still be in the game. Well, we can't do much more here. Let's maybe analyze stats as if the game is over.
I already exited out of the game because
Okay.
I went to see if you could join back into it, and you can't.
Okay.
So I
It
assume
was
the game is.
GG. They're asking is laming allowed? Not with scouts. Okay, MbL has to leave in 2 hours and didn't want to waste time. So it's 1-1
Oh, okay.
now. Not with scouts versus boars. I know that the hotfix made some changes, but we will keep it consistent throughout the tournament. Okay, so it's 1-1 on Lu.
Yeah. That like I feel flustered just because that game ended so suddenly.
Yeah, like, and honestly, like, a minute ago you said, yeah, this could be a long game, and yeah, we are far away from having a winner here, and I agree. Sick.
I mean, if maybe he saw the score difference, because like that was a pretty extreme score difference, but
14
I mean,
to 10. Yeah, but he was pop limit.
yeah.
Like, I don't care about score. If I'm pop limit, I have gold still. I have center control. I have onage attack. I have Hussars raiding you.
I mean, in a world where MbL didn't apparently have to leave in 2 hours, I think he would for sure keep playing because you still have at least, I would say, 35% chance to win that game, if not more.
Yeah, I think so as well. I will talk to my chat on the back in 2 minutes. So that was weird, guys. Oh, I should mute him as well. I'm a bit confused there. Is it best of 5? It's best of 7. As you can see at the top. Outpost Rush the first game now makes a lot of sense. Oh. That's really weird. MbL could just ask for a reschedule if he really has to go. Yeah, there's no chance of rescheduling. Yeah, no chance. Yeah, taking 4 hours for best of 7 is reasonable. Yeah. That's how I scheduled, right? 4 hours for best of 7. So I can't fault him for taking that the same. So we are jumping into game number 3. It will be MbL picking Arabia, and he offered Celts and Malians. What did Hera go for, guys? Did he go for Celts or did he go for Malians? Give me your answer in the chat. Celts or Malians? I see Malians, I see Celts, Malians, Celts. Malians. Celts, Malians, Celts. Love that this is so even. And we have...
All right, Nilly Man.
Hera is picking Malians over the Celt option here on Arabia. What do you think, Ondo?
Now I'm a big fan of Malians.
Why?
But I actually think Celts are favored.
What?
In this matchup. This particular matchup. But Malians, to me, they do literally everything. And they do it pretty well. And you can go for pretty much any opening. You can go for anything in the Castle Age, early Imp. And then you still have at least Farimba Cavaliers, which are a lot more viable in 1v1 than our Paladins. Yeah, I mean, like, they're the only civ in the game with a complete Castle Age tech tree, minus the the pseudo-unique units, the Eagles and stuff.
The only civilization with a full tech tree in Castle Age? Really?
Yep. They have every single unit in tech other than these pseudo-unique units of Eagles, Battle Elephants, and Step Lancers.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, another knowledge bomb here. Okay. Well, yeah, that's why they feel so diverse. Persians have that as well, says Viper.
What did Viper say?
Persians have that as well.
No, Persians are missing a ton of monk techs.
Oh, you're counting those as well. Okay, well then we are splitting a lot of hairs. Okay.
What? I My
Yeah,
only
it's okay.
qualifiers were just
Yeah, I thought relevant text. And now you're like, oh no, they're missing herbal medicine. And Ordu's going like crazy. Oh, herbal medicine.
You're saying that Persians missing heresy isn't a factor?
Oh, heresy is a castle edge tech as well, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
1k gold in castle edge, right?
I mean, if you're going for the elephant play,
Yeah, like we've seen so often.
well, in my games, maybe. And that's why I'm not 1600 yet.
Oh, feels on, man.
Yeah.
So, Hera has a pretty good map here if I look at the gold spots. Last time they were in the same direction, but he was at the right-hand side in the corner, not in the top. And he has to be pretty happy with that. At the front, well, reasonably wall options here. Massive cliffs throughout the center of the map, though.
This is Mongolia Light here.
No.
Lots and lots of cliffs. But I'm 100% with you. Hera's map is real pretty. I mean, like, it's not the easiest thing in the world to wall, but it's certainly not that bad.
Well, if he goes for the
And-
firewalls, they're super easy. If he uses that
Yeah.
massive cliff, but it's not really his style, right?
No, this isn't Dogao. Also, something I just noticed is Hera's got those ostrich nicely tucked away in the back.
yeah.
That's pretty feels good, man.
Look at Hera already walling his berries. He just scouted the barracks. What does he think MbL can teleport those militia over or what? Those are really
yeah.
early walls.
He's not Lithuanians. And that's the only civ that can attack that fast.
Pretty weird. Oh, MbL with his scout. The one game where he scouts. Now he thinks better of it for the future. Actually, it runs directly into the TC, although he saw the woodline earlier, so a bit of a misstep, but gets out of there, only losing a third of his HP.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. And to be fair, MbL is coming in with a pretty early drush. Celts, definitely one of the most likely civs of any to go for a drush. I mean, you already have the wood chopping bonus. They're the only civ with a relevant militia bonus in the Dark Age. And yeah, you can usually make something done, pick off some stray villagers.
Yeah. Obviously, the speed helps out quite a bit. MbL going for the big walls. Is this rush into flush or is it rush into FC? He has good enough berries and gold here in the back as well.
Yeah, I mean, Celts definitely can go for the Drush FC play. Did lure only one ostrich.
Untypical
I
frame.
think it's all up to MbL what he wants to do. He has 4 more vills queued up, so I'm going to go with Drush FC.
Okay, nice read there. And Terra goes for the woodland at the front. He will play scouts behind this. And, well, that's pretty ugly. If you're trying to go for scouts, you will clear up the drush, but then not achieve anything. Because they scale pretty poorly into castle age, and if your opponent is walled, you won't be able to break in.
They also scale quite poorly into walls.
Yeah,
but I mean, with Malians, I would say that your most common opening is going to be men-at-arms, but you can easily go for anything. And yeah, it's not going to be super great. I think if you're Hera, you say, okay, time to tower.
time to tower rush, you mean? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look at MbL stones. They're right next to each other, and a tower on the woodline right here could be devastating.
Question is if Hera knows about that. He did see both stone spots. Yeah, he knows everything about the map, so great scouting there by Hera. Total awareness, but breaking him will be tricky.
It definitely will be tricky. I mean, it's also... Why does MbL always build the gates to the side of the map?
Oh, we mentioned that several times already, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, hidden cup preparation, guys. If you see this one, it is MbL.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Although Lyria and Viper now in the chat, and they will try to troll everyone.
Oh man. Yeah, well, let's see. 4 villagers on gold for MbL. His food count isn't astronomically high.
Makes sense.
Is this going to be a fast castle?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, he has so many farms. 4 on gold is the amount you want to have, and that has to be fast castle, right? Completely uninterrupted. Did he wall the front? See, what is he trying to build a panic gate there? Did he think he was open? Or does he want his militia in? What's happening here? On another weird gate that I don't understand.
It's the contingency gate. in case that palisade in particular is destroyed, you still have the gate behind it, so you can escape no problem.
I don't understand it. So weird.
I don't know, man. It's weird.
Okay, Hera did see the walls, now just trying to find the Drush. The Drush hiding pretty well there. Actually doing an enormous job for MbL. Not losing his Drush and his Scout. Keeping Hera kind of scared.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can keep the Drush alive. I mean, you always have to worry, right? Until you're fully walled, it's the guy who is against the Drush. So, if MbL were to be able to like sneak in on the top side before Hera could get that walled, he could possibly pick off a villager or something. Hera obviously is going to be totally fine, I think, but I still like it.
And MbL actually adding 2 spearmen behind this, so Drush FC will still be hissing. Oh, his Celts play. He will play militia into siege here. Not a militia, spearman into siege. That's a play he really loves.
Yeah, Celt's going to be very good with that too. If your opponent is going for cavalry especially, that's going to be pretty hard to stop. As you can just kind of run your opponent down pretty quickly and just tear through buildings. But in come the militia, I was wrong. He was able to sneak in, and that's going to be at least a dead villager probably.
Oh, and I love how he kept all of those alive. And, well, let's take a look. Well, the speed really helps out. The last spearman was a bit behind. And... okay, I'm live now as well. 1 down.
Yeah, it's to a point where I'm just like hitting tab, which is my like speed hotkey on like a 3-second cooldown.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I love how just annoying MbL is being with these units, just waiting for the 2 spearmen even, so units are like guaranteed to get something done. And yeah, MbL is going to be able to use this to comfortably get up to his own castle age and, go for that infantry siege play, like you were saying.
Yeah, and honestly, like, MbL keeping his Drush and Scout alive there is just so incredibly good. I would have wasted those militia 100%. And, well, now Hera's eco interrupted. So many houses being built, 1 villager picked off. That is like, that Drush did way more damage than I would have ever dreamed of.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, my militia would have run into the town center at like the 7-minute mark. Like.
Following your Scout.
Following my Scout, naturally. See, Nilly knows what's up.
Okay, now running under the TC, but yeah, Hera too aware of those quick walls.
But honestly, like, it's still being annoying, right? You're still causing a little bit of idle time. You're still forcing the initial wood investment with these houses. You get to see exactly what your opponent's doing. It's so nice.
Yeah, and Scouts can't engage this either. This is so ugly. And MbL, I think he will just drop 2 TCs behind this as well. He has no interest. He doesn't even want to push, right? He doesn't have a villager out on the map.
I know, I would boom here, as in every situation. But yes, 2 TCs coming in here for MbL. And, I mean, Celts have a very good boom with the faster working Lumberjacks and the defensive Mangonel potential. You can definitely hang on in early Castle Age. Late Castle Age, I think, is going to be a really, really important stage in this matchup because it's where Malians are arguably at their strongest and where Celts are at their weakest. So I think it would behoove Hera to do something at that point.
I never thought of late Castle Age as the weakest for Celts, but yeah, kind of makes sense. You only have...
I mean, it's where your crossbowmen and knights start becoming bad. You don't have your tech switches to imp just yet.
Yeah, I never go for those units, but yeah, makes sense. Yeah, absolutely. So we now have the monastery. MbL, for not having a lot of time, he tries to play this very long again.
Well, I mean, when we said he resigned early, but I mean, he still has 2 hours. You can still chill, hang out.
Well, it's a full best of 5 in 2 hours, basically.
Yeah, that's actually pretty risky. But look at this monastery, along with the only 2nd TC so far here for Hera. Could be adding in another one, but he's only on 1 stable. That's a very fast monastery.
Now, I'm a bit surprised he has so much wood that he didn't go for it. Maybe wanted to clear up the spearman first and then go for the stone in the back. Looks like it now, pulling some villagers over. Just tries to go for the clear up. Maybe pulled some villagers against this.
It could be something you can do. Knights are completely unupgraded. Hera not wanting to waste anything on that. He has a lot of gold banked up too. Malians have the free gold mining upgrade, and he's had a consistent, 7 or so vills on gold for a while. I'm not too sure what he's going to do with that.
Well, building some monks is one step. No market for him to go for some trade-offs. Now the TC being built there. Wants to go for one conversion. If he gets one spearman alone here, I think he should be fine. And he gets one. Yeah.
And he's fine.
Yeah. This completely ends now. I think just trying to commit and somehow try to snag one villager would be a massive win for MbL with that leftover army.
Yeah, definitely. Even already, as we keep on harping on about the Drush has gotten a lot done. Actually, Nilly, they're going in.
Oh, villager in the back. She is microing back as well. No quick walls there. She's going down to 7 HP. Oh no!
2 hits.
Knight is helping out. Oh,
Yep,
miss
he's
microing.
Oh, the monk heal! The monk heal!
Oh, the monk is out. Oh, for the save. But that's so much interruption again. Oh.
I mean, look at the villager discrepancy, Nilly. MbL's 11 vills ahead right now.
That's so sick, yeah. What a beautiful play by MbL, honestly.
Yeah, and then the counter monk play to heal the villager at the last second. Feels good, man. Both players do have monks. They are collecting relics. Looks like the gate is actually open. The monk's gonna, monk can just go right through.
Yeah. That's also where all the spearmen went out to reinforce at the top.
Oh, yeah,
so
true,
that's why we saw the gate earlier there. In the end, it was confusing for us, but actually really nice. We just needed some time to understand.
Us mere mortals aren't prepared for the big brain plays yet.
Apparently. The big brain plays. Talking about MbL.
Feels MbL, man. Where do you think these guys go from here? Because, as I said in the very beginning, I think Celts are favored against Malians as the game goes on, because a torrent of Woad Raiders and Siege sounds like it's something Malians can't really deal with. Or Halves if Malian players going for cavalry.
Yeah, some people want to go for a champion tag then. You don't even have champions. Oh no, we have champions, but
You don't have Blast Furnace.
Yeah, they aren't too sexy there. Might be an option. Gebettos, obviously, if you micro them all game long, which Hera likes. But,
I mean, with Hera micro maybe, but microing a bunch of Gebettos against Celt Siege sounds scary.
Okay, now MbL sending villagers forward. 794 stone. You know what that means. 824 stone. You know what that means.
It's a castle. Sorry,
That's a very defensive one.
I thought I was looking at MbL and I was looking at Hera.
That's a bit surprising to me, how defensively he's building that castle. That's not really controlling anything. It's kind of in the center of the map, maybe to get traps out later on. But,
Does he think Hera has an army?
Yeah.
Because Hera doesn't have an army.
Yeah, must have been the only thought process that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But then why aren't you building the castle defensively? If Hera has army, you're always getting smashed there either way. Maybe it's the most aggressive one that he felt could never be denied?
I think on top of not being denied, I don't think it would ever be scouted. Because, what would Hera be doing right there at this point?
So, relic count will be 3 for Hera, I believe. Maybe 4 for Hera. 1 for MbL. I'm a bit confused. One monk has to be somewhere with a relic in his hand.
On the far left, there's a monk with a relic.
Yeah, that makes it 3 for Hera. MbL,
yeah.
1. Not sure about the other relic.
Yeah, just don't see it.
Okay, happens.
I'm sure it's around somewhere.
10 villager lead now for Mr. MbL. He got some good shots off against the villagers there. Monk dies behind this as well. Can click up to Imperial Age. And on the other side, Hera, he's lacking some gold, but will click up pretty soon as well.
Yep, should be pretty consistent. And we already see the Pajama Men ready for their slumber party. And they're going to be queued up here. Should be, I think, a really good option against Malians.
We found the relic next to MbL's main gold spot. That's something you will never realize. That's a spot where you don't micro. So that's going to be like 3 against 1 relics for quite some time.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Idle
Military.
Wait, does idle military hotkey work with monks holding relics?
I think it does. Yeah. But that's
Okay.
not really something you spam too often. Or at least I think MbL doesn't.
I spam it all the time.
Yeah, because you're a clever guy.
No, I was gonna say I'm a pleb. I don't know if that's something that's newbie to do or not.
I think it's underused, honestly, idle military. And also, like,
Yeah.
nowadays you can do select all idle military, right? Now with the... And then just send everything to the front. That's just so good in so many spots.
That's something I know I underuse like crazy. Like, yeah, definitely. Anyway, University sniped there, but Castle is on the way for Hera.
Ooh, somewhat
Should
optimistic
be.
there, 40%. Could lose some villagers. He doesn't have a lot of vision, but oh no, MbL never saw the castle either. That's why he
Yeah,
didn't go for
MbL.
punishment. But builds the castle there, will have the hill advantage and the imp advantage. I think MbL, he just gets 4 traps out, and Hera has no way to punish it.
Hera just started Imp. I think he had a couple villagers queued ahead of when he could have researched Imp.
That could have been like it, yeah.
Because I think he just, like, queued up Imperial Age behind, like, maybe 2 villagers that were queued up in the town center or something. But now MbL's going to have a massive advantage here. You can also start adding in some rams if you want. Yeah, the Gebettos can help out against a ram push, but not against trebuchets, and it's still not something I feel super great about going against cults.
What are we? We are actually checking for the light cav here. Triple stable in the back. Even amount of villagers, but you're just getting all the traps in your face. Ram go now behind this as well. MbL with the full control.
Yeah, this is going to be a really tricky hold for Hera. Another barracks on the way for MbL. Going to be adding in some pikemen. So even if he hasn't scouted the switch into light cav, he's at least guessing it. Because I think in a vacuum, Malians are going to go for cavalry. Like,
Yeah.
nothing, like no other knowledge. I think you still go for cavalry.
Yeah, if you have Vote Raiders, it's like not too bad to face Light Cav either, right? And he's killing the castles, and then like if you go for Halberdier Vote Raider and your opponent somehow got into No Bracer, Arbalest, Hand Cannoneer Skirmish or something of that, you don't mind that too much.
No, not at all. Like I said, the Gebettos are going to perform very well against the Rams, but the trebuchets are the big problem. MbL has the high ground, MbL has the faster fire rate, and that castle is going to be not too long for this world, I think. And the second one isn't even in a great position either.
Yeah, we can easily get trapped. I'm not too happy with that one. We now have the light cav raid through the center. Castle at the perfect spot here to defend the raid through the center, but no ballistics. So not even a single hit against the raid there.
Oh, ballistics plus strongholds, Millie. That's the true anti-raiding power of that castle.
Oh, yeah. So weird.
It's a really weird castle spot, but the castle spot of Hera, that's going to be a pile of rubble in just a second with one more Treb volley. And right now, MbL had a nice quick wall with that house, and he's still safe.
Yeah, absolutely. And those raids at the side won't happen. What? Left-hand side, Hera's in there now, and MbL is building the defensive castle now. Tries to be safe, and I think he will be, while he's continuing with 3 traps on the hill.
Yeah, 3 Celtic Trebs going to be so difficult to deal with. And once those castles are down, you just send in the Rams, and Ram Hal with some Woad Raiders mixed in should be pretty much impossible to deal with.
Yeah, also losing the university means we had the delayed chemistry there as well to go for the bombard cannons. Obviously just flying through there and getting chemistry quite quickly, but bombard cannon count obviously still at 0.
Yep. It is nice for the Malian universe to be working faster. Does especially help with chemistry, but without castles, yeah, you're just going to slowly lose all your base because MbL has these halberdiers and you can't run in and snipe the trebuchets. This is looking absolutely horrible right now for Hera.
Yeah, also no control over one of his gold spots means he won't have too much there. Now techs into some archery ranges. What is he going for? Is it skirms
cannons.
in addition?
Has to be hand cannons, right? He got chemistry for a reason.
Oh, if bombard cannon is started. I don't think he will have enough gold to go for hand cannoneers. Look at that, 2 gold spots taken away. We had all of them to the left-hand side, but that's now MbL's controlled area. I think this has to be skirms behind this.
You might be right, but I am actually right. Haha! Just hand cannons.
Yeah, but
You can't afford many, though.
yeah, good luck doing like 15 and then you need to go for skirms after all. But yeah, maybe 15 can make the defense happen a bit better.
The 15 hand cannons definitely sounds better than 15 skirmishers.
Agreed.
But losing a town center and just getting that gold denied is such a big problem. There is no neutral gold that is readily available, as both are very, very far away from Hera at this point. Really, really just fantastic initial castle spot on this hill for MbL.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Now Mangonel's going down. We have the Harbidiers actually going in and trying to take some fights. Won't do too well against the Gebettos. Hand Cannoneers now around, but Lightcav have to run in MbL. He's totally fine with just randomly wasting 25th or 25 Harbidiers there just to gain some more ground. Another defensive castle here by Hera, quite defensively.
It's quite defensive, which in this case means he's losing a ton of farmland. And that's going to really stymie his production of pretty much everything, because his entire army costs food. And that's going to be really rough. Hera has 22 food workers right now.
Oh god, that's not a lot. He's trying to make something happen with the bombard cannons now. And Hera, he is out of it. Incredible play by MbL. Honestly, like, keeping those militia and the spearmen alive, that's like another level of sneakiness.
It's another level of sneakiness, and it further exacerbated the fact that MbL went for the greedy play to begin with. He went for the Drush FC, and he was just like a good 10 plus villagers ahead in the mid game. Neither player went for a ton of Castle Age aggression, so that when it came time to get to Imperial Age, MbL just had a huge advantage.
Yeah, and Hera, well, what can you do against this? Like the early Drush, you just wall your resources and go aggressively, kind of, right? That's what you wanted to see.
Yeah, remember late Castle Age is the time when Celts are struggling. Remember when MbL was getting that initial castle down in the middle of the map and didn't have anything to protect it? Yeah, if Hera had +1, +2 knights and just started smashing MbL in the face.
Yeah, but if MbL builds the castle defensively as to Mangonel at home, we will just say yeah, why are you trying to break a Celt player in Castle Age? At least that
how
would
is
be
MbL going to defend with 2 Mangonels against a bunch of
No,
knights?
if he builds the castle defensively, what I would have expected.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, yeah, it's going to be pretty rough, but I still think it's your best bet. I think it's just a really rough matchup for Malians, like I said.
Yeah, but he picked Malians.
That's true.
That's interesting, right? Okay, so now it will be Hera coming up with a map and 2 civilizations MbL will pick. I will talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
I think a forward might have been a good option there. Tricky to say, though, obviously easy after the game. Give me some music. Okay, here we go. I hope you're enjoying the show here on this lovely Saturday. This is only the first series. After the series, we will have Leary against the Viper. Hope you will be around for this one. MbL, he has to be happy with how it went so far. 2-1 lead after resigning in kind of even game number 2 there. Pretty crazy to think about it. Only needs to learn how to admit he isn't right all the time. Lol. If MbL wins this, will people stop insisting that Hera's number 2 now? No, there will always be fanboys. This is so much longer than the Nikov series yesterday. You were there. Did you have a favorite for this series beforehand? Probably Hera, slightly. Hera, slightly indeed, yeah. Could have been possibly saved time by playing more in game 2. Yeah, maybe, yeah. Stop arguing with Onlu about units or civs. It's pointless. Even claim that Sarah Pikeman, Greater Malian Pikeman. Well, they are in Imp 1v1. They are. Saracen's Pikemen are better. Sarah really number 2? Some fanboys will say it. we'll try to find out what the next map is going to be. Was number 1 player. If you don't troll, you say the Viper. If you want to troll, you say Doubt. Congrats on the large numbers. We love you. Thanks. Was laundry made me with MbL winning again? Yeah, that's why you don't do laundry on a Saturday. Best of 7, no best of 3. So Hera is just making our waiting time as short as possible for the other semifinals. Maybe that's how he planned this whole series, to be nice to the viewers. So it will be Land Madness, and we will have Franks and Slavs as an option. Hera was offering. What did MbL go for? Did he go for Franks or did he go for Slavs? Yesterday, Nikov offered the same, and Lyri picked Slavs. We have Franks 4 times. Slavs, Franks, 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 Slavs, Franks, Franks. So, overwhelming amount of people says Franks. I disagree with you. I think Slav is the better one.
He doesn't want to hear my nonsense.
Now I want to.
Okay, there we go. I thought you'd finally come to your senses, but not quite, it seems.
Not quite.
But anyway, MbL up in the series 2-1 with some very strong play overall. I'm really impressed with MbL's form. I haven't seen him a ton since DE came out, but this is definitely some good stuff.
Well, if you can't play for the 4th month, it's tricky to show yourself a lot, right? Then he wasn't at NAC, so a bit of wind out of his sails. It feels like only in the last month he could really go for it and develop his skill on DE. And, well, he did pick Franks over Slavs here. Yesterday we had the same matchup, Nikov against Lyri, and Lyri went for Slavs. What are your thoughts?
So even way back in the days when Land Madness was like super Frank favored with all the forge bushes around your town center. Like, remember way back at NAC2 when Slavs were picked as a Frank counter on the map? I think that Slavs are actually going to be pretty good here.
I think so as well. I would pick Slavs. Really good map here for Hera for Land Madness. He can actually wall between the 2 wood lines, something we don't see too often. He could be completely safe from the left, and yeah, that's pretty sexy for everyone new. Obviously, on this icy area, we cannot wall. Now taking some of the boars. We will probably see a lot of scouts here in Feudal Age.
Oh yes, this is very much a scout-dominated map. That's why we saw Mongol mirrors on it all the time at NAC3. And you have the extra deer hanging around. Wait, are there less deer than on the NAC3 version of the map?
I think no, it's the same. It's just renamed. You should.
Oh, okay.
Maybe they pushed some deer.
Yeah, I mean they did push some deer already, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So the reason that Nilly and I think, are saying that Slavs are a bit better is that if it comes down to like your ecos in the mid game, Slavs are going to be a bit better. Their cavalry is still good. Their monks are a bit better if need be. And then going into late game, Slav infantry and siege is better than Frank infantry and siege.
And also something we have seen often, Land Madness, since you don't have the easy option to wall, we often see extended feudal wars. And then actually having bloodlines is really valuable on Land Madness.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. This is a map that will go to late feudal age a lot. And also at that point is when the Slav farming is really going to kick in as a powerful bonus. I mean, yeah, it's not the 15% anymore back when it was bonkers, but it's still one of the most powerful eco bonuses as the game drags on, starting really in late feudal age.
Whew. Now pushing some more deer. Again, MbL plays it very greedy. As you can see, no vision at all at the other side. Hera, he's going for some more scouting, but still not into the direction of MbL.
Not quite yet. And just taking a quick look at MbL's map in comparison to that of his opponents, it's kind of weird because you really aren't going to be able to defend yourself all that much. But because it's Land Madness, you still have plenty of resources in the back. So if you can kind of play spread out, I think he will still be okay.
We will see. Obviously, we need to wall our wood lines here quite heavily. Second wood line in the back for Hera. Has a nice defensive gold. He will play pop 20. On the other side, also pop 20. So very even start from the two.
Yep, that does make oodles of sense on Land Nomad, as you can very easily lure those deer.
Oodles?
Oodles of sense.
What's that for a word?
It is actually I mean, it's a nonsense word, but it's not one I invented. I think that actually I think it actually might be a Shakespeare word.
Okay.
It sounds like something that would be a Shakespeare word. All I know is I didn't make it up, so
Oodle
you
or
can't
not
blame
to
me for this
oodle?
one.
Okay.
But yeah, as you're saying, pretty much dead even so far. And it should just be scouts for days. You can mix in some spearmen as well. In fact, you should. But other than that, I don't think we're going to be seeing a ton of divergence.
So, even going for 2 berries here. Quite nice for MbL, using his Frank's bonus to the maximum. Scout of Hera actually loses some HP. Again, a third there. While MbL is his... Well, using his scout quite nicely in the back. Gets all the intel in the world as well.
Taking a little bit of damage is Mr. Hera.
And you need to fast forward?
I guess I do. I thought I had caught up, but apparently not.
Apparently not. Both players dropping the stable. Spearman trying to scare away the scout. Didn't really happen. And yeah, so massive amount of scouts coming out. You kind of want to always place farms now, keep the food income rolling, spearman defense. And how do you get ahead if both players are doing the same thing?
Well, there's a couple ways you can do that. I think that once both players recognize that they're doing the same thing, I think the first person to take a decisive action in terms of doing something different is going to have the edge. Whether that be like, okay, I'm going to add like another stable and go like stable scouts, or okay, I'm just going to go super greedy and try and click up to Castle Age and just try and defend with spearmen. At least that's always how I've seen it.
Do you think
you
if anyone is going for archers, who would be the player? Franks or Slav player?
Slavs have better archers, technically. Not that they're great. But I'd say Hera also as a player, I feel, would be a bit more likely to go for archers.
Probably. MbL more of the skirm guy. Now we have the first attack here from MbL in the woodline. Hera only one spearman way too late there. And that will be a nice start for MbL. He has the opening. At the moment, 8-4 military. Now some quick gate behind this. That is beautiful, though.
Yeah, that is really nice. But MbL will at least escape with 1 scout. So that could have been way worse, all things considered. Even sniping one of the spearmen of his opponent. Okay, now Liam's just moving around each other for some reason. that was kind of weird. But that's a lot of spearmen here for MbL.
And he got very aggressively with them. Hera, he is 3 villagers behind this as well. What happened?
How? He only lost 1. At least that I saw. Yeah,
Okay.
the KD agrees with me.
So some idle TC there. Well, wheelbarrow completely out of the question, right? Am I confused?
Yeah, no,
wheelbarrow.
not as Slavs especially. Like, that wouldn't make any sense.
Okay.
Maybe he got housed. Oh,
maybe
another
not.
villager is perhaps in jeopardy, but Spearman will run away for the time being.
Yeah, Hera now has 3 spearmen with full HP, kind of for the defense, now make it 4. Still going for some scouts. MbL with more aggression. MbL having a good day of Age of Empires here.
And that's just great to see. I mean, the more players that are in top form, the merrier. Definitely makes, especially like the semifinals and finals of this tournament can be, I think, really, really exciting.
Yeah.
Since I think all 4 of these players that are playing today are in good shape right now.
Yeah, MbL only had seed number 7. In the quarterfinals, he did win against seed number 2, Mr. Tado, in, well, pretty solid fashion there. So he is, seeding-wise, kind of the underdog going into the series. Hera, seed number 3 at the start of this tournament. And MbL, he continues with some aggression, now goes on to gold.
Yep, now going on to the gold. Something that is noteworthy is I think Hera has more farms than his opponent. At least it looks like, but of course MbL is gathering from the forage bushes. Spearmen just going to be poking away at each other. Mr. Pokey Poke living up to his name. Don't think it's going to matter a whole lot.
14 against 10. The villager even saved there. And what are the next steps? MbL, more spearmen, now goes for wheelbarrow. On the other side, Hera, full scouts and villagers. No more spearmen from him.
Nope, no additional buildings whatsoever. Okay, just as I say that, the blacksmith is now being placed for Hera. Could have gone for bloodlines, and maybe he still will go for bloodlines. As at that point, then the tables turn, and Frank scouts then become inferior to the Slavic scouts. But I think it still is a bit better just to go up to Castle Age. I don't think these guys have large enough numbers of scouts to really justify that. As weird as it says, because, you know, there's 5 and 6 scouts respectively, but I still don't think it's enough.
I think we will see bloodlines, honestly. He just needs to drop some more gold, doesn't think about Castle Age, and... well, wheelbarrow now. Cancels wheelbarrow and goes for bloodlines. Now could do wheelbarrow.
And then gets wheelbarrow as well.
So that was really important to him, apparently.
Yeah. I'm not sure how big a fan I am of this. I think that with Slavs especially, you can try and squeeze out the faster Castle Age, but spending all the resources, but if you are able to dive in and your opponent doesn't have any units on standby, then bloodlines or no, that's going to be a really nice pick-off.
Yeah, forging would have been even better there. Some spearmen patrolling in the back. How many spearmen did MbL get? He has 8 infantry. That's 8 spearmen here. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, just MbL things, right? No. Definitely somebody who will just go for crazy amounts of spearmen all the time. Yeah. But
Hera, don't tell me he wants to dive in there. That could be suicidal. Oh yeah, some nice walls behind this as well. 11 HP and yeah. MbL is fine.
But, you know, going for bloodlines has a cost, and even +1 defense as well.
On the other side, Spearmen are doing something, and yeah, Castle Age indeed.
Yeah, Castle Age is going to be way faster for MbL, but does it matter if you hit Castle Age and don't have anything?
Well, he will have something, right? He's going for a second archer range, so that's actually Frank's crossbowman here. That's pretty crazy.
And I actually just now remembered, MbL, at least back on Wolo Higginham's, had this style with Frank's where he would go for knight crossbowmen, like simultaneously, like very aggressively, and just try to like run them down with knights and crossbowmen.
Well, you're saving some upgrades, so it's not the worst thing, or you're saving at least one upgrade, and one spearman only there, sniped all of the spearmen, but now the scouts are out, spearmen can just waddle over there from the other side. Some archers now from Hera as well, he will click up any second, double archer range from him. That will be a crossbow war in Slavs against Franks. I did not foresee this.
I was thinking more along the lines of knights, pikemen, monks, and siege, but... well, this is what these guys are going for. Especially on this map, like, you'd think the crossbowman would be comparatively worse.
Mm-hmm. Because you can wall so much trickier. Okay. Scouts?
The rush distance isn't too long, though, which definitely is a point in favor of crossbowmen.
Hera will find another villager kill at the farm there. Now 3 ahead, but still 70% behind in Castle Age. Gets all the resources on the mat. Fletching being up now as well, but... MbL, he moves out with his army. Not too scary before the upgrades, though.
Not too scary for the upgrades. Bodkin and crossbow are on the way, though. Hera even has the defensive watchtower forced out of him, so that is going to stymie any booming attempts.
Okay.
But, I mean, the watchtower is... this map is very spread out and open, right? So the watchtower can only be so good, and there's still a huge portion of Hera's economy which is very exposed, and it's going to be at least one villager, MbL looking for some revenge.
Oh, goddy. That's going to be ugly. I'm not sure if I like this tower too much, but yeah, maybe if he just went straight... well, we would have said, why didn't he build a defensive tower?
He's trying to engage?
Okay. He's trying to buy some time. Scouts are now coming over, but they lost a lot of HP. Oh god, MbL doing so much with those crossbowmen.
Oh yeah, definitely. Returning the earlier rating from Hera in kind, and honestly, MbL should rotate to the south, further away from the towers and whatnot. And the knights are coming in from the other side. Well, a knight.
Oh, surprise. We'll get a villager kill at least. Crossman still active. Hera so idle. This is looking good for our Norwegian. He's so active. Micros away. So many villagers, low HP though.
Yeah, really pretty control there from Hera, but now Hera is the one who is behind by 4 villagers. Crossbowman is on the way, but he does not have Bodkin just yet. As obviously he's had so much idle economy, not really something he could afford. And of course, behind this, MbL, being the certified boomer that he is, adding an additional town center.
Trying to find that one. Yeah, okay, next to the berries. Crossbowmen, they still didn't find the extra villagers at the bottom. Now keep getting cleared off there. Hera with one less upgrade, but the better micro.
Yeah, Hera had some really nice control right there, as we would expect from him. And yes, MbL's gotten cleared up, but he has the villager advantage. He has another town center on the way, and Hera just needs to sort of collect himself before trying to make something happen, I think. And
He will have a lot of collecting to do. Let's see, Crossbowman Knight. Yes, reasonable upgrades on those. So both actually with exactly the same military upgrades at the moment.
Yes, indeed. But Knight production is still only from one stable for MbL. Crossbowman looking to get some villager kills. Nice pullback there from MbL, and we'll get the town center up with very little problem. And this is good for MbL. Every minute that goes by, I think, is just going to be better and better for him.
Really? Don't you think like Frank's eco is better in the long run?
No, I think Slav's eco is better than the long run, but I think MbL's eco is way better than Hera's eco.
Oh, he's, I wanted to say Slavs, obviously. And I think MbL, he's, quote-unquote, only 5 villages ahead. Let's take a look. But he's not adding the TC, only now goes for stone. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, because remember, Hera made the tower earlier, and MbL's already on 3 TCs. So this is going to be pretty rough for Hera, I feel, unless he can get something big done right now. But even so, because MbL is going for the crossbowman, he even has Bodkin on these town centers, and they're going to be a lot more effective at killing any knights who try to snipe villagers.
And yep, those are scared away. 3 TCs at the moment. Hera desperately waiting to add TC number 2. Do you think he needs to play a Castle Age all in here?
Hera?
Yes.
Might not be the worst idea ever. You do have the good siege, and you can certainly overwhelm your opponent.
He's adding some scouts now.
Okay, I know Hera likes scouts, but I'm gonna have to press X to doubt on this one.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too nice, right? Okay, now some more sniping. MbL chilling on the hill there, and yeah, it will be the siege workshop. Hera is adding 1 extra TC there at the side. There will still be some aggression. I think that was a... No, he queues up more scouts after the night again. This is so weird.
I feel like this play is kind of indecisive. Like, he wants to get extra economy, but like 1 extra TC isn't really going to catch you up in economy all that much. And like, if that was just like another production building or something, I feel like that would be better served in Hera's overall chances of winning this game.
Okay, now we understand why he wanted to snipe the monks, but only got 1 snipe there, lost the 2 scouts. Okay, I can see the reasoning now. Just taking us some time. I still feel like knights were better. Those crossmen are still doing a fine job of sniping the monks regardless.
Well, yeah, it's kind of strange that MbL would be making so many monks against crossbowmen, but I guess he didn't completely realize what his opponent was up to at the time. Knight upgrades are still completely even. Hera does have 1 more archer armor upgrade, but MbL with his own siege workshop coming in right here. I still think he's going to be fine, and we have to remember that as soon as MbL goes over to stone, it won't be too long before he can get a castle up as Franks.
15 villager lead now. And yeah, how much stone do we have?
MbL is just going over to stone now with 8 villagers.
Okay, 8. Needs to make something happen. He can't repair the TC at the moment either, right? Not having a single stone in the bank.
Oh, he can just gather 1 stone and drop it off.
Yeah, let's see if he does that. And yes, he did. No, what?
Yes.
No, he did.
Oh, yeah, that was weird. And you can afford, as MbL, to spend a lot of villager time and resources repairing the town center, because you just have 17 more of them.
But 2 mangonels? They're reasonably scary there on the hill as well. Let's take a look now. The first mangonel dance here of the game.
the Mango Tango, as someone once said many
was
moons
that?
ago. I think that was Killer B.
Ah, okay. Thought you were quoting yourself.
No, 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 no. I mean, I have a pretty big ego, but not that big. Yeah, I even with the third Mango coming in, I think it's still going to be a little bit tricky. Oh, what that?
Well,
Huh?
just scouting. Even dodging there, but there are no villagers inside the TC anyways, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that bad. Gets a good shot off against the crossman, runs away at the other side, and that was a good one. Oh, no kills there. That's surprising to me. And behind this, MbL keeps the 15 villager lead.
Yes, he does. Hera does have +2 defense now on his knights. MbL does not. Second Mango out for MbL's here. MbL has some of the best mangonel control in the biz, in my opinion, but that was a nice crossbow engagement there for Hera. Still has a 5 military lead. Town center is definitely on fire, but still no Mango's dead.
Yeah, sick. And actually, I thought it was the same as well. Hera won the crossbow fight, but actually lost 4. Only killed 2 crossmen there. Pretty weird. Now lost the mangonel, and Hera, he cannot break the CC. This is so weird.
Yeah, I mean, MbL's defense has been just good enough. Also, MbL with a nice hit there onto the high ground. And we'll be getting a 1 for 0 even. That is not at all what Hera wanted to see right there.
And that was uphill as well. And yeah, MbL so good with the Mangonel Micro at the moment. Gets a ground attack off there. Has to be happy with trading this one off. He's just buying time for himself. Now 20 villager lead for him.
And he needs 4 more stone for a castle. That's a castle up here at the front. If, you know, he can make sure the Mangonel doesn't snipe it instantly, it's going to be almost game-winning in and of itself, in my opinion.
Yeah, could be a good option. Mangonel, another 1-for-1 trade.
And Mangonel just running into the town center right there. Somewhat unfortunate. And indeed, once the Mangonel is destroyed, realizing, okay, nothing stopped me from getting the castle up, and that's going to be so huge for MbL.
Okay, then that's kind of ends the dreams of Hera trying to make the castle edge push happening. He's still diving in, but crossbowmen running into the Mangonel shots here. Oh god, they're getting slaughtered.
That was rather painful, to say the least. A couple monks here for MbL as well. This is not great for Hera.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So MbL holding this one. 20 villager lead. Gets the defensive castle up. X-Min Bombard Cannon could be a very deadly army composition here by Mr. MbL. Who's just casually dropping another TC at the front there. Tries to secure the gold and stone for himself. Hera going to the other side and builds a castle on that hill at the complete other angle.
But the thing with Land Madness is that you can always run away. Like, because the resources are all so spread out, you know, you drop a castle here if you're Hera, like, yeah, it controls some gold and stone, but MbL can just go to some other gold and stone because it's spread out everywhere. And MbL is in a much better position to just, annihilate Hera's base.
Yeah, true. And MbL, yeah, he's just very methodically pushing forward, and being cornered isn't the worst thing ever because there are always so many resources in the back there as well. At least if you still have like the 30-40% of map control that MbL has.
Oh, nice Mangonel hit though for Hera. Definitely going to be a fan of that. There are some taxmen out here. I think no conversions actually for MbL. That's a little bit unfortunate, but with that 4th TC, he is just going to be looking so good. And again, I kind of have to question Hera, like, trying to go for a big aggression, even though he's really behind economically.
Yeah,
but he still added a bunch of TCs behind
for quite some time. I'm not sure if he knows that he's so far behind in economy.
Maybe not. That's actually really weird.
Yeah, he was actually, before the castle went up, Hera was 600 points ahead. It was really weird. 4k to 4.6k. I couldn't explain that.
Even, but MbL's been with a much stronger economy, and he's been fending off Hera's attack, so maybe something weird is going on with the score. It has seemed a little weird. But still, Monk getting a conversion is going to be nice for MbL, and we have to imagine that his imp time is likely going to be faster. Still needs 600 food, but with 39 farmers, he can get that pretty quick.
Yeah, absolutely. Some more raids now through the center. MbL 300 food, as you said. And Hera is sitting at 500, 500. Queues up some more knights. A lot more knights, actually getting everything on the map. That will be a full castle age aggression from him.
It will be full castle age aggression from him. I don't think this is the worst idea in the world. I just would have liked to have seen it faster.
Well, he was kind of trying to make the push happen, right? So
Well, I mean, but he was still adding in additional town centers. He's now on 4 town centers. So I think, like, literally just going like 1 TC early castle age against MbL, who's trying to add in a bunch of extra town centers on a very open map, I think would have been better.
yeah, it is tricky to judge, right? So many decisions to be made, and the big push. Like, do you think you can break him? Do you think you can hold? Need to make something happen behind this. Obviously, our camera mainly is at the action, not really at the boom that's happening behind there. And MbL, well, his villager lead is somewhat shrinking, but he's on the way to Imperial Age, while Hera, he is keeping the knight production up.
Yep, Hera's been getting definitely some nice work done with these raids. Definitely has a large military advantage over his opponent, and even the light cav can help out against the monks, which is nice. But MbL's switching to halberdiers, and halberdiers with some trebuchets in the front doesn't sound like something Hera can deal with.
But Hera, he can deal with villagers at the moment. Get some more raids in at the right hand side, and suddenly Hera is ahead in villagers here. This is so weird.
Well, Hera on the 4 TCs himself and getting a ton of villager kills here. But again, I just am really going to be worried about that imp timing difference. But that's a lot more knights coming in.
Both players actually at 5 TCs even, booming so heavily. And, well, maybe some more defensive castles would be really nice for MbL. And yeah, he's pulling one in front of his main TC. Can maybe stop that with some trapping. But still, villagers getting raided everywhere.
Yeah, definitely. This I do like, because you can still get that huge economy of Slavs behind this, and just spamming knights every which way, even if your opponent gets to Imperial Age. I think even trading against low numbers of pikemen would be really good. If you have so many knights, just prevent them from getting that, massive halberdiers that you would need to defend against this. But, Hera's window is shrinking as MbL draws closer to Imperial Age. Hera just queuing up Imp right now.
And that's not an overcommittal. So yeah, the timing is shrinking, doing damage in Castle Age, but he doesn't need to finish the game in Castle Age here. He allows himself to get some more raids in and just set himself up into Imperial Age. The question is though, army composition for a Slav player, what are you going for? Like Trap, Halberdier, Hussar?
Yep.
Okay.
Mixing in Rams, possibly. Yeah, that seems good. I mean, in a Halb battle, Slavs are going to win that very comfortably once you get a research Druzhina.
Yeah, well, that's going to be a tough upgrade, though. And I think
On 5 TPs?
well, yeah. Still, like, your castle at the front will probably want to produce traps. And yeah, I would be surprised if we see it too early. We have the champion tech now behind this. Interesting.
Free supplies!
Okay, yeah. Saves, what is it, 150 food, 100 gold or something?
50 gold even, I think.
Oh, okay. Oh, another raid at the top. Hera's getting so many kills in here. That's crazy. It was 70 to 70 kills. And suddenly it's 120 to 80. He's wrecking everywhere.
But he's losing a lot of resources at the front. He lost a lot. This raid at the north is very good, but Halberdier are going to be coming in soon, I hope, for MbL's sake. And then he should start pushing at the front, and there is not a whole lot that Hera is doing in terms of dealing with those halberdiers, as it takes a long freaking time to switch over into the swordsman.
Well, he's taking longswordmen now, and honestly, like, the halberdiers, they need to start pushing first. We are building more defensive castles, and maybe squeezing out Druzhina could be a good option, but for now he just continues with the raids. I like the activity that Hera is putting on the field.
Oh yeah, I mean, Hera is doing his best to keep MbL occupied, keep MbL at home. But now he started Hal, but then canceled it. Okay, now he's doing it again. But that's a castle down for Hera, and he doesn't have another one, I believe. Okay, he's getting one established at home, but there's already a Treb nearby. Ooh, actually, the Hussar stable is going to get sniped before the tech can finish.
Ooh, that's ugly. And that's something like that will really confuse you. At one point you look on the resource and feel like, oh, 1k food, 1.4k gold, I will just produce. And then 3 minutes later you were like, where did my Hussar go? But no, that's my story. Hera instantly clicks Hussars again.
Oh, great reaction there from him. I know I wouldn't have noticed that for quite a while.
Yeah.
But Halb is done for MbL. The upgrades are terrible, though. They only have +1 attack. So, yeah, the swordsman switch is getting closer here for Hera. And MbL's only pushing forward very, very slowly.
Yeah, and still so much aggression behind this as well. Sniping another monk. Hera's so active. Hallelujah. What is he doing to MbL? He's at pop 155. We thought he made the defense happen. And I still feel like X-Men plus Halberdiers should be okay. But Hera, he's not the guy who wants to take fights. He wants just to dwindle your economy down here.
Yeah, and MbL is just pushing so freaking slowly. And yeah, even his own army isn't all that great. Two-handed swordsman now done. Champion on the way here for Hera. And yeah, he is looking at 144 vills for him right now with Slav farms.
Oh, pretty crazy. And that's what we said earlier. Slav eco, although it's 10% faster farms now, it's still pretty damn scary. And the 200 swordsman tech soon to be a champion tech even.
Yeah, MbL has a nominally larger army, but I don't see it. I guess it's just a bunch of halberdiers running everywhere. Throwing axemen are now starting to be produced, but MbL really needs some upgrades. Only having forging versus champions with +2/+2.
Oh, yeah. Well,
It doesn't sound great.
well, yeah, you're just dying anyways there. And, yeah, pretty brutal. And, well, now we have the push at the right-hand side. MbL still at 150%. And I said, yeah, it's fine if you have like 30-40% of the map. You will have resources. Yeah, but not endlessly.
Not endlessly. There is actually a neutral or a gold way at the far right of the map, which is nice. That can supply MbL for quite a while. Another
he doesn't
castle
see
coming
it.
in for him. And the one thing that is not going in Hera's favor is he only has 1 castle and doesn't really have much siege because of it.
Yeah, now takes for arson, goes for the +4 attack, and as I said, Regina, you want to have the traps out first and try to get the castle numbers down of your opponent, so that will take some time to get it out first.
Well, yeah, I mean, Hera's just not been mining a lot of stone, so yeah, with only having 1 castle, you kind of do need that for trebuchet production.
He's building
still-
the second one now at the very north, controlling some more of the map, and so active with the Halberdier raids, Hussar raids over and over again. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, and now this is starting to look really grim for MbL. 3 is the magic number of trebuchets, I always say, because you cannot repair against 3 trebuchets, like, in almost any situation. And that castle, that's not even being, no even attempt at repairing it. And honestly, it looks like MbL kind of crumbling right now.
Well, he's increasing population as well, 180, but at the moment it's just sending more Halberdiers in your eco trying to protect yourself. The thing that is the best thing actually for MbL is that Hera went for a huge overboom. 163 villagers here.
That's a lot of villagers. There's way too many villagers. I mean, I know the Slav army can be expensive, but it's not that expensive. And now there are a fair amount of taxmen, but they are missing just so many upgrades. MbL is actually getting bearded axe right now
Something we don't see too
before
often.
elite.
Well, I'm quite surprised as well. But
Considering the elite also gives you 1 more range.
yeah, and obviously more damage output then,
Yeah.
and I think more
More
HP
HP.
as well.
A melee armor.
Okay, so Halberdier defense continues, 166 villagers, and oh god, Hera's actually queuing up more villagers. That's so weird. Tax into onagers now behind this.
And like with DE, I feel like there's even less of an excuse to overboom because you can just see how many villagers you have
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
at any given time. So Hera should, realize, wait a minute, I have 166 villagers. I should not queue anymore.
Yeah. If he sees this, how many should he delete? What do you think?
I think as Slavs you only need 120 to 130.
Okay. So solid like 40 deleted here would make sense for you?
or trying to like take resources that are super far out and on suicide missions.
Okay.
But yeah, Hera's bank is insane. He's getting Onager.
Oh, makes
He
sense,
could easily
right?
afford Siege Onager. Yeah, seriously. You'd hope with 167 villagers, your economy would be good.
Okay, and now we have Georgina tech indeed. So champions will be a bit more efficient. MbL, he's just running away with his X-Men. Some pressure on the castle at the front. And Frank's castles. No masonry, no hoardings, no architecture there. Hurts a lot.
Yeah, it's pretty painful. Now with Onagers coming in, those are going to be so strong against the Throwing Axemen. They do have Elite now, as well as Bearded Axe. But yeah, we already have the Siege Onager on the way here for Hera. That's just going to be so powerful. This map, I believe, does have a lot of gold on it overall compared to a normal map. It's just spread out everywhere, right?
I think so as well. And yeah, Hera's doing a good job of controlling a lot of the extra resources. Moves out quite a bit. Now deleted like 10 villagers. As I said, I wouldn't mind to see him lose 40 villagers.
Yeah, it's really not a big deal for Hera at this point to lose all those villagers, and he needs the pop space, and he needs it like right now is the thing. Because it's hard to push with less than 50 military.
Yeah, absolutely. At the moment, he has a pretty strong one, though. No real counter. I think if MbL had, like, 1-2 bombard cannons, that would be really good against this. Not really happening. Now he sends a hit squad of throwing X-Men to the side. Nice ground attack there. X-Men need to walk around, but still eating some hits of the Onagers.
Definitely still eating some Onager hits, but one Trebuchet has been taken down. The Onagers have gotten less done than I think Hera might have hoped for, and MbL's micro has been pretty good considering he's up against, 5+ Onagers. Castle is still alive. Another Trebuchet was sniped. There's only 2 left.
Yeah, and one of them is mispositioned. I think he's going for the wrong building there. And okay, now he is. But now the army is just crushing through on it just well enough. Pop 200 against 155. Now the dive in. Everything is dying. And suddenly MbL, he doesn't have any military left anymore. 20.
Yeah, I mean, all those throwing axemen died. And you're only on, what, a couple castles right now?
Oh, big raid
3
at the
castles?
top as well. Nice move by Hera. So active always.
Yeah, just really great play. You can see how strong the mass cavalry in Castle Age. And I think Hera just used that to perfection. I think MbL tried to get into not cavalry too quickly before he could really have his base on lockdown.
Uh-oh, 2-2 and MbL only 45 minutes time from what he said. Oh, that's going to be tough.
Would it be in the rules if both players consent to reschedule?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Like,
Because it'd have to be
the finals are
rescheduling,
tomorrow, right?
so you would have to play it before the finals.
Yeah,
So-
obviously. We have to continue then. Let's pray that they're finishing.
Let's cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay. So Hera, big castle attack did get so much done, and MbL, I think bombard cannons a bit earlier could have been nice.
Yeah, I agree.
And yeah, it's just an impossible map to wall everywhere, so you always will get raided. No push through the center to finish off the game.
Yeah, and MbL, who had 20 more villagers in Castle, had like, at least 5k less of every resource except stone. Just
Yeah.
Hera really turning it around, slower Imperial Age. Who cares when you are just raiding your opponent like crazy and they don't have an army?
Yeah, that was more close than I thought. MbL also, we completely forgot about it. That's the same game where 5 crossbowmen did so much damage early castle there as well, from a Frank player.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was a game where Hera just really brought it back with the power of raiding, and MbL did put himself in a good position. I think this definitely been a very good series so far.
Yeah, I love everything about it. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
I was muting Mr. Onlu for a small moment in the plus 10% prize pool for not respecting tournament schedule. What? What, Dot? What money do you want to get erased? I don't know what MbL's appointment is. But if he has to leave, he has to leave, right? Players are not on time, you lose 10%. So what's your punishment now? Why do I need to get punished? At least there's some... Doubt has some prize pool to lose as well. Says Leary in the semifinals. I think Doubt only lost 13%. Which is good, which is good. First game went crazy long. Yeah, second one, like, what happened? Every game went to Imp, right? Am I confusing something? Yeah. I will get some sugar water, and then we go into game number 5. Now the home map of MbL, he picks 2 civilizations, and on the other side we will have Hera, then deciding which of the 2 he wants to go for. How did it schedule only 4 hours for a best of 7? That's sloppy. Okay, they aren't in the next game yet. No worries there, guys. You can ask me some questions. Obviously, during a co-cast, I can't really interact with the chat because I don't want to talk over him or want to, like, him asking me a question while I answer something muted there on stream. So I hope you understand that. In between series, we won't have a lot of time as well. So that's why I'm muting him during the games and we can have some interaction there. So Viper and Leary will wait? Probably, yes. I will have to ask them, yeah. Obviously, I don't want to delay it an hour there as well. Maybe they start game 1 after half an hour or something. Do you have long-term goals and are there specific ways we can help? I want to stabilize on 900 subs. That's basically the amount that I feel I need to live off streaming. And yeah, that's... If you're subscribed, you did your work. What is sugar water? At the moment I'm drinking Pepsi Max Cherry. Castle can be resource drop off? No. I'm helping. You're doing your job indeed. So, next map will be Valley. We have Aztecs against Mayans. And MbL did offer the civilizations. What did Hera go for? Did he go for Aztecs or did he go for Mayans? What do you think, guys?
Something. So, oh wait, there's Nilly.
There's Nilly indeed.
So we are here in game number 5, going on to Valley in a Meso War.
Indeed, and I'm a bit surprised that Hera is going for Mayans here. Normally, Aztecs feel a bit better in such a hyper-aggressive map, I would say. But maybe MbL fields? Okay. Hera fields. Map is defensive enough.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like if it's a super aggressive map, then both civs are good, but I favor Aztecs. But if it's even like normal Arabia, I pretty heavily favor Mayans in most scenarios.
Okay, okay. Well, then let's take a look. Eagle War here in the center. Not really sure what Hera is trying to achieve.
Yeah, not too sure on that. MbL will have the extra 4 HP, which is nice.
No. Both should have 30 HP.
Where are might be a little bit behind.
Yeah.
I'm at 247.
Now here's the extra. 247? Ah, okay. Then I was behind, yeah. So, tell me something about MbL's gold positioning, Onlo.
Is bad, okay.
Okay.
It's on the far side of a wood line. His secondary golds are also very exposed and open. I mean, I guess the right side of his base is quite wallable, but this is a map that is sufficiently bad where I think you try and go for the deer in the middle and then just try and go very aggressive.
Yeah, could be an option. Absolutely, milling the front. Let's take a look where he will build the mill. We have seen MbL going for a lot of barracks before mill today. I think this is not really the map where you want to do it. Barracks before mill. That's what I wanted to say.
Yeah. Definitely seems a little strange in this scenario. It looks like Hera will be milling his forage bushes. Mayan's definitely going to be the much more defensive of the two civilizations. Thing for Hera, though, is his gold is still a little bit awkward. It's on a hill to the left of his base. But if he can secure that, he should be set. Stone, obviously very important for Mayans, and it's on the right. It's not super safe, not super horrible, but he has the stone in the back.
Yeah, and that one in the back. I think wasn't scouted by MbL though, right? He, I think, didn't have the greatest vision. Yeah. Did go for the
Assuming
early lane.
MbL has scouted anything.
Yeah, well, he went quite early for the lame, although he asked, is laming allowed? And I said, it will be the same rules for the full tournament, although we had the change for laming now in the last patch. But it's still, you are not allowed to take the boars with your eagle.
Yep. As that was super overpowered on the previous patch, but with some bug fixes, it should be back to normal, I believe. And I guess laming will probably be allowed in future tournaments.
Just in mind, most likely, yeah.
Anyway, board just coming in for both players. Do you think we're going to be seeing drushes, or are we going to go right to men?
You need to go for men at arms. I think Drush just results into having a tiny bit of a weaker army at the 11-12 minute mark. And MbL, he can't afford that. He has the golds to open. He needs the powerhouses.
Yeah, and I think you would really want to be fully walled at that point, and then you're just kind of giving your opponent all of the space in the world to take the middle and take those deer, probably get a faster castle age because of it. I totally agree. I think going about as aggressive as possible is going to be your best bet.
Okay, so what are the next steps here? Barracks now up, and Hera is playing with the Drush. Did collect 10 gold. Will this breed Drush into Flush? He's now adding a farm. Well, this
Not only is this a Drush, but this is a slow Drush. This was like a 7-minute barracks or something, not a 6:30 barracks.
And MbL is building a mining camp to probably have his villagers being stuck in there. Would be so bad against the forward. Those are questionable openings.
It's the good old mining camp with no barracks opening.
What?
That's somewhat odd.
That will be some aggression here. Oh, Palisade at 4 HP will be fine. And MbL went for the healing. No quick wall there by Hera. Sloppy play. Now needs to pull his villagers. Eagle low HP though. But that's not a lot of gold income for him at the moment.
I mean, he doesn't really need gold income right now. Doesn't have anything to spend it on. But I guess it will be less in the immediate future.
Lisha now want to commit. Eagle very low HP, doesn't really want to go in there. Villagers even trying to focus this one down. Barracks so delayed, still not up here. At 9:20 it only goes up.
Yeah. It's definitely unfortunate. No. Definitely not.
Okay, first militia out. Instantly gets 3 other militias in his face. Oh boy, and oh god, those villagers are so low as well. That's horrible for MbL.
Oh, villager down.
Oh.
I mean, he's going to be appreciating the faster creation speed on these militia, but it's still just such an awkward position. Trying to build an archery range and right on top of the enemy militia, that's not going to be too effective.
Look at that archery range. That will block him every time he wants to retreat from that goal. I think Hera, he should just maybe even add more men-at-arms. And that's another villager down. Oh, God. What a horrible opening for MbL.
All the militia have been cleaned up, though. But those militia of MbL's are still at pretty low HP. And MbL's not even continuing to build the archery range right now. Oh, I guess he needs the house. That's really not pretty for him.
Oh god, only now building the house as well. So much going wrong. Hera, by the way, behind this all aggression, misplaced his mining camp a bit. But I think now we should easily get two archery ranges out and should be fine. Still no man-at-arm tech. Oh god, this is a beautiful start for Hera.
That's a campaign mining camp if I've ever seen one.
Okay.
I know you don't play the campaigns, Nilly, but all the time they give you like lumber camps and mining camps that are like one tile out of position.
Okay.
And it's like the most tilting thing ever.
But isn't
I
on
need to
like
get that off my chest.
Empire Wars has reasonable camps, right?
I cast a show match yesterday between Dogao and Fire, and both had terrible mining camps in an Empire War game.
Oh, okay.
But nonetheless, still going to be double range for both players. Mine's going to have cheaper archers. Aztecs are going to have the faster production. But with that 2-villager lead of Hera, that is just going to be feeling so good.
So good. Skirm and... No, it's art production now. Okay, Skirm's there. I think Hera needs to go for quite some eagles. Otherwise he could just get slapped here. Lots of villagers on gold at the moment. Hera also floating some resources. No one really went for the food in the center.
And that's something we saw a lot of in NAC3. Like, people just play this map like it was Arabia. Which kind of surprised me, but I guess it's what people felt comfortable with. Fletching now on the way for Hera, not yet for MbL, who doesn't even have a blacksmith as far as I can tell. No, he does not. And this could be a little bit uncomfortable.
I think you can just pull villagers to fight this.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest damage output. Archers are running around, just sniping the eagles here. One eagle interrupted some, and yeah, Hera's just running away. MbL simply not with the damage output. Hera, 2.5 villages ahead at the moment.
Yeah, Hera's still in a perfectly fine position. The one thing that's nice for Aztecs here is you have the faster Eagle Warrior production, which, because they train so slowly, is like ends up being like a 9-second like creation speed advantage or something like that.
Okay.
So Hera's going to be adding in these guys in much more slowly, and hopefully, for MbL's sake, he can take advantage of that. But Hera looking so solid right now.
Yeah, absolutely. It didn't take the losses. It's still fletching against no fletching. Eagles are out. Archer numbers pretty high. And normally you can punish archers quite early on. Not going to happen this time. And MbL even goes for the +1 defense for his eagles before fletching. That's weird. Now clicks fletching. Okay, thought better of it.
I guess he was thinking for a second that he had fletching already. Nope. But makes sense. You have 9 skirmishers and 3 eagle scouts. Get the upgrade that affects the majority of your army. Whereas we do have scale mail coming in for Hera as well.
Archers of Hera going to the side. They're trying to sneak around. They could be obviously super ugly here. If Hera's holding the front, maybe defensive tower could be an option. MbL, no defense there. That could actually be the GG moment. Once MbL can't do the damage at the front and suddenly has 6 archers to fletching in his woodline.
Yes, but MbL is looking to do damage right now.
Okay.
No villagers down just yet. Obviously, skirmishers are very bad against villagers, but there's one down already. There are several Eagle Warriors here, but of course we have to be looking at this wood line of MbLs that is soon going to be in a very, very unhappy state. And looks like Hera only lost 1 villager at home, and MbL is going to be losing greater than 1 villagers.
Yeah, most likely. And, yeah, so that's 2 down. They're even deciding to fight. What? Why would you ever fight this? Yeah, you had 18 wood villagers, but that is not the greatest idea here. And Hera was scared away there for a small second, but he will get at least 4 villager kills.
MbL is having some nice control here at the front, though. Sniped all of the eagles of his opponent, and still has a big old army alive here. Unfortunately, he's not really going to be able to deal with the archers too effectively at his base, and any eagle that comes out is just going to be so good here for Hera, also with the faster reinforcements. Yeah, this is looking to be an absolute disaster game for MbL.
Oh boy. So, 6 villager lead now for Hera. He's even diving in through the center. Still 3 eagles out. Oh no, that's 2 eagles, 1 militia. Make it 3 eagles and 1 militia. I think Hera's holding this quite nicely. Runs away with his archers. He has to be happy how the last minutes went for him. Resources, MbL at the limit. Hera is floating some gold.
Getting a little bit of gold. He honestly has way too many villagers on gold. I mean, with the cheaper archers, and you're not even spending gold on archers a lot of the time, you're making skirmishers and 1 barracks eagle production, just now adding the second. Probably could have gotten away with like 5 or 6 vills on gold.
Yeah, he wanted to go for more archers initially, and obviously after the skirmisher switch, you could have pulled those away, maybe build a market, there are some options, but I think, yeah, just going double barracks should solve your gold issue.
Yes, it should. The one thing for Hera right now is that he got all but one of those archers that went for the counterattack cleaned up. So, could be a little bit of a tricky position defensively for him. He is outnumbered militarily quite heavily. But with some archers in the army that are not skirmishers, maybe those can get picked off. But MbL, not taking the worst fight ever.
Hera, that wasn't an overextension there, I believe. Now the Eagle's still active, and 2 barracks, they're still slow. They still take 60 seconds to produce here. Now he tries to rush out the defensive tower.
Yeah, but this is definitely quite uncomfortable here for Hera. Remember when I said a big difference between the two Civs was the fact that Eagles for Aztecs can produce that much faster? Yeah, that is not the greatest. Still, though, Hera, he's 5 vills ahead, and he's not going to die here. He lost a vill. He is in a rough spot tactically, but he's not going to die, and he's about to click up to Castle Age.
Yeah, and on the other side, MbL, 100 food, 50 gold, still producing everything. Castle Age, and once you have like 6 eagles out or something, you just wreck every feudal army.
Oh, yeah. It's not especially close at that point. MbL diving in here probably feels like he has to, but this feels a little bit painful.
He knows, okay, you built the defensive tower, and maybe he sees, okay, yeah, that makes sense that you are up now. I need to do the damage, and, well, he did deliver some, but, yeah, he can't get the kill.
No, Hera even with another mining hub. Hera has 20 villagers mining gold right now.
Yeah, that's a bit too crazy, in my opinion. I think you need to go for archers behind this, but he's going for skirmishers or 3rd barracks. Now, congratulations, Hera. You walled your villagers in, but against ranged units, that's not the best choice ever.
Not typically. I mean, I guess it helped against the 2 Eagle Warriors, but that's not really that great. And this is a lot of idle time. MbL is almost caught up in villagers, but obviously that Castle Age discrepancy is super huge. And yeah, Hera, even with the idle time, still, I think, going to be in a much better spot.
Oh, and those skirms and archers are so low. I think once we reach Castle Age, Hera should get the clear up quite easily there. Another attack through the front. I think Hera, I wouldn't even mind him building a 2nd defensive tower there. He has enough gold just by 100 stone.
Yeah, I think that would be totally fine. Hera trying to wall behind this. And the thing is, MbL does have a really big army. He has a little under double the military of his opponent. So I think that what Hera really needs to do is just keep the Eagle Warriors alive, because they train so slowly. And he needs to use the barracks time as soon as he hits his Castle Age to get the, Squires and Eagle Warrior. So if he can do that, I think he's fine.
Yeah, gets the 3rd barracks now. A bit late for my taste, even. He had the floating resources, but, well, better than late than never. And now dives in, just waits for Castle Age, and then he gets +3 attacks on those eagles and will just wreck whatever MbL has at his base there.
Yeah, that +3 attack that comes in for free for Eagle Scouts once they hit Castle Age is so huge. And they're just going to completely annihilate all of these skirmishers and archers and pretty much everything.
But villager count now evened out. Military count is evened out as well. Let's take a look. The quick wall there against the army. The house and another house. Nice move there. And tries to go for the trap behind it as well. Will lose 1 villager at least. And I think now the trap is something you can stop, my man. The army stopped walking away.
Yeah, that's It was probably a little bit of overkill right there, but it looks cool.
It
So
looked
there-
cool indeed, yeah.
You get points for that, right?
You should.
But yeah, Hera's like in an amazing position right now. He has 16 military to 3. I mean, I know Aztec production is good, but
Yeah.
he's going to need to buy a lot of time.
I think Hera could even go for 5 barracks here. Just produce eagles, right? Because he knows the gold spots are so open. You will always put pressure on your opponent. Maybe 4 barracks.
Well, MbL's on 4 barracks and he's Aztecs. So honestly, I think 5 barracks is kind of what you need. Otherwise, you might actually get outproduced because MbL is going to be catching up in the military in not too long.
Okay, let's take a look. Some eagles diving into the back. Villagers. I don't think we can see enough quick walls. And, oh, he even goes back there. And even he gets into the gold. Oh, no, that is so ugly. Now 2 eagles in there. 3 eagles. Skirmishes still active. And, oh, boy, MbL, if he loses all his gold, he obviously loses the game.
I see MbL walled in his gold. I'm at 2744.
Yeah, some eagles dove in, got 2-3 villagers, and then the walls behind there.
Oh, okay. I was looking at the eagle fight on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that happened as well.
Which MbL honestly did take a pretty good trade there. And MbL, he's only down 2 villagers and he's evened up the military. Now, that is way better position than I thought he would be in.
Yeah, so did I. Upgrades. 1-1 for both players. Production behind this way longer for Hera, though. So some of his resources still in the bank, technically.
Yeah, they're not in units that are on the field right now. But with the reinforcements being faster for the defender, it should be nice. And MbL doesn't have a... What are those eagles doing?
Nothing. Just chilling here. One fighting, the other's not fighting. And oh boy, that was stand ground. No patrol there. That was ugly for MbL. And those are not running away. You can't tell me that was a hotfix with the pathing or MbL did a huge screw up there. Oh boy, that was costly.
I don't even know what that was. That was weird. But Wheelbarrow just now coming in here for Hera. Upgrades are still the same, so it's going to be just down to numbers because with Eagles there's not a whole lot of micro involved. And that is in favor of Mr. Hera. No shocker there. And maybe Hera should be able to snowball this one to victory.
Well, he's also raiding in the back. That is so good as well. And I wouldn't be surprised if MbL has to tap this one out. Honestly, the aggression is continuing. The pressure on the gold is massive. Woodline has to be pulled. This is looking incredibly good for Hera.
Yeah, definitely. Gold villagers just all so exposed. You have to circle back to the map problem here for MbL. Honestly, he was looking to be in an okay spot before that horrible fight against Hera with the Eagles, a minute ago. But with that coming in, you're doing the same thing as your opponent, but like worse.
Yeah.
That's usually not a great sign.
GG, Hera, after being down 2-1, now puts himself ahead in this series. Ooh. Has some stamina, this guy, after this brutal game number 1. Very open map, both very open gold spots, and, well, Hera with the defensive tower. Maybe something MbL needed for his gold spots.
Possibly. Maybe... I don't know. Because he was already so far behind. I think he needed to wall.
Maybe
Especially
check
the right
the gold
side.
at the left-hand side. What did MbL ever... Did he scout it? I don't even know. In the late game he obviously did, because the skirms chased the archers in that direction, but
Yeah.
maybe that might have been a better choice, and then try to wall the front.
I think you can at minimum wall the right-hand side, because it's not much effort.
Ah, yeah, that's true,
And that's where the archers came in.
Yeah, and the eagles to finish the game there as well.
Exactly. I think at a bare minimum you can do that.
Ooh. Now a lot of pressure on MbL. He needs to come up with another map and 2 civilizations. We cannot repeat any of the civilizations that we already used before, though.
Nope. Which is always nice to see. And that includes the random mirror civ, right?
Indeed, yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to see what is going to be next. What else is there for MbL?
Well, there's still plenty of civilizations, right? How many did we have? We had 9 civilizations only taken away, so 26 to choose
I meant
from.
maps.
Maps-wise. We have Golden Pit, could be a good MbL map. We have Mediterranean, would be a bad MbL map. What else do we have? We have Hideout, Arena, not his favorite maps. Regicide could be something. Graveyards. I think Graveyards or Golden Pit should be the MbL maps now.
Yeah, I totally agree. Those maps seem a lot more MbL-esque than the other ones. But I think Hera, if he loses this, can go to Medi, and I think that's going to be not so great for MbL.
But what civilizations do you go for Medi? That's tricky as well.
That's true. Because Persian Japanese would be a pretty nice duo, but yeah.
Tough matchup here.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Both not so good on water maps? What?
I type in Hera, and then I see 3 games, all of which have already happened.
I think Hera played some really good water. Yeah. Arena is the only way to not allow the map to beat you. What? Don't think so. Yeah, Arena is, I believe, one of the most unlikely maps, honestly, for MbL. I think Golden Pit feels right. Something like Golden Pit. Hans Magyars? Yeah, now that's like super crazy thinking about stuff like this. I think Graveyards or Golden Pit could be good ideas. MbL should wreck Hera on Arena? Why? I don't think so. Mongols is still available, right? Yes. What are you pairing Mongols with? Like Mongols Huns on Arena feels fair. Yeah, thanks for all the subs, guys. I obviously have them silent for now. Honkmeister gifted a sub. Nbrain flew in. Spinpie, F5 Tornado, and blah. Thank you for your support, guys. Humans versus Turks in Arena. I think Hera would just... Okay, and we go into Golden Pit. Turks against Bulgarians. What did Hera pick? Did he pick Turks or did he pick Bulgarians here on Golden Pit? What do you guys think? Interesting matchup for sure. Oh, Turks, Bulgarians. Turks for the memes. Turks for sure. Bulgarians. And we are jumping into it. It will be Hera playing the Turks indeed. So we can update.
Nilly, oh boy.
Nilly, oh boy. Turks against Bulgarians. Those were some I didn't have on my list.
No. But this is cool.
This is cool, and this is fair Civs Cup for you, right? We never saw this matchup probably ever in a competitive game. I'm so happy that we see people coming up with like crazy things.
I've played it once. Have you ever played it?
Turks against Bulgarians, I don't remember it. No, probably never. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely not one you see every day. This is something I think on paper would favor Turks.
Okay, why?
Because Bulgarians, with the lack of good archers, are going to struggle against Janissaries. And if this is usually a map where you can wall and go for an FC or of some kind, you can see that Hera's map is super comfortable. Golden Stone at the back, very safe. And what do you do against Janissaries if you're Bulgarians? It's certainly, historically, that is exactly what Bulgarians struggled with.
Okay. Well, it is a historically accurate game. And, well, Hera, that's completely uncontested Janissary if he wants to go for those, honestly. Like, this is such a perfect map. He could go for Crossbow, he could go for CA. So many options, and yeah, MbL. Honestly, having a civilization that does not have Crossbow feels really bad on Golden Pit.
Crev hosts are certainly something to consider. They're going to be really good at securing map control, but Bulgarians don't really have a fantastic eco. I really love playing the Civ. I think it's a lot of fun to play Bulgarians, but I just don't think they're that great, especially after the Conic nerf.
Yeah, agreed. And even Conics, I don't see them being too sexy against Janissaries.
No. Or even Cav Archers with the only the one Pierce armor in Castle Age.
Yeah.
Not ideal.
Okay, so like Hera not going with for the best walls. Did he actually scouted the better ones? What's happening there? I think like half a screen further forward would have been so much better.
His
walls at the bottom.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Yeah, you're totally right. I'm not too sure why he would do that.
Okay, so pushing some more deer in here. I think we pushed in 2. Hera is now going to scout, 5.5 minute mark, and is walling the right hand side as well. No surprises there. And yeah, he will be very cozy. The question is, will he try to open with militia, or will that just be a straight FC? Not completely out of the question as well with this map.
Yeah, this map is definitely, I would say, even a little bit more defensive than Gold Rush early on. I feel like you more often have very wallable maps. But without the wolves in the middle, definitely can go for early militia. But I think, given Hera's map in particular, that would not be great for MbL.
Huh. Okay, completely walled. We don't see the barracks yet. We don't see the mill yet. That's just going to be straight FC by Hera. Then we have to ask again. Janissaries, CA, crossbow. Hera normally is the crossbow guy. But, well, we rarely see him played with Turks, right? So Janissaries could be an option.
Yeah. Ironically, I feel like I've seen MbL play Turks a ton.
Really?
Going for artillery bombard towers.
Okay.
I've seen it a lot.
Okay.
Like back on when especially VV and MbL were just grinding on Voobly like all the time.
And again, I think sorry for interrupting you. It just aches me so badly. MbL's biggest weakness simply is the scouting. He again has no idea, and whatever feudal age strategy he chooses, which he doesn't. What? MbL just plays fast castle without walls here, or what?
Sure.
What?
Why not?
That is really weird.
I mean, if he assumes his opponent's going for straight fast castle, which he is, then yeah, it's good. It seems incredibly greedy, but
This fast castle with complete openness. Well, Hera
no,
didn't
MbL's
scout
gonna wall
either,
eventually.
right? But still, like you were open. Like you don't have loom, and your opponent could have just rushed. You have no idea.
I think he just figured Hera wouldn't rush and just bet his tournament life on it.
Okay, yeah, apparently. Okay, now mining camp in between the stone and the gold. So indeed, it will be Janissaries. You can get a lot of map control with it, and let's see how MbL is trying to play against this. Now sends a force villager on gold. That is so weird. He's upping without loom. No, he squeezes in loom. But so why do you send 4 on gold?
I have no idea.
So many
Maybe
questions.
he's going to use one of the villagers to build a barracks or something. Feudal age times are almost identical. Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Okay. So if you're the Bulgarian player here, what do you... You wouldn't...
I would not offer this matchup. I have no idea how Bulgarians should play this. Probably skirm defense or what? That's not pretty.
Like, crep hosts everywhere.
Yeah, probably.
And honestly, that might be good. Because Janissaries aren't good against buildings. And crep hosts with at least fletching will match their range.
Okay.
So what if you just, like, say, oh, that's cool, you have Janissaries. I'm just going to drop hosts.
Yeah, but how many do you need? You need like 4 or something. Doesn't make me too happy. By the way, Hera even that greedy that he played without Loom here.
Well, he was fully walled, like, instantly.
No. MbL has solid resources in the bank here, as you can see, 800 food, 200 gold. Hera, well, he has 2 wilds in the queue behind this, and this looks like MbL wants to go crossbow man with 5 on gold. What is this? Oh.
MbL knows the Civ doesn't have crossbow.
I am not sure if he does. And it's
my
archery range blacksmith. This guy, guys. Let's check. Maybe the last balance patch did add crossbows to them. No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
Oh, that
Cav
could be
archers.
really.
It could just be Cav Archer. Why you would
Okay.
pick Bulgarians as your Cav Archer Civ, I have no idea. Their
Well,
Cav
you
Archers
offered kind
aren't.
of both civs, right? Yeah. And he's going for archers. Second archery range. Oh god, MbL. No, he cancelled the archer. What?
Oh, I think he realized. Wait a minute, the Civ doesn't have crossbowmen.
Do you think he realized?
Yeah, I think
Scouts
he
running
realized.
in deep into the CC now. Phew. Yeah, so it's going to be full CA now.
And yeah, for those who aren't familiar with Bulgarian Cav Archers, they have everything except Ring Archer armor. So they have the same upgrades as, say, Hun Cav Archers, but obviously no bonus to help them out, which is why this seems rather strange to us.
No. Okay, and Hera, he will just randomly drop his defensive castle. No worries there. How will MbL play behind this? Obviously, his boom could be really good. Doesn't need to
Yep,
collect
he-
more stone for extra TCs.
Yep, Bulgarians can add in 4 additional town centers, technically, without adding anyone on stone. But as Bulgarians, you kind of want to get the stone anyway, just to make your creposts or castles.
Hera just scouting so much around there, and MbL 3 HP on his scout won't do much either. How many TCs do you want to see from each player behind their army?
I think the Turk player can get away with 0 extra TCs and just go for a quick Imperial Age like Arena style.
Okay.
Against a Civ that doesn't have a great Janissary answer, and in a map that so heavily favors, mid control, I think it's totally viable.
Okay.
I mean, I think you can add extra TCs too. but I
Lightcap
don't
now
think-
diving under the TC. Hera wanted to go for the snipe against the villager here, 7, and he won't get it. Spearman around. Now he needs 2 hits even, because the villager is back to 7 HP. Whew, Hera's snipe was so much, like, on the field here, but didn't happen.
Definitely. TC. And yeah, it is the Cav Archer play, like I said.
Yeah, we saw that coming. Granted to the TC at the back there. Cast at the front. And yeah, 1 extra TC for Hera, so he doesn't play your 1 TC play. And MbL is dropping 2 extra TCs.
Yep. I mean, I think going for the extra TCs is totally fine as Turks. I still think that getting the faster Imperial Age would be really good, though. So I think going fewer TCs than your opponent is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I think so as well. Okay, so we have fletching now, nothing more. How many Janissaries do you want to have before you move out?
So it takes how many Janissaries to one-shot Cav Archers?
I'd say
3?
3 without any upgrades. 4 if we have the first defense upgrade.
Yeah, so I'd probably move out with like 6.
Okay.
Well, I mean, other than like there are 2 Cav Archers here, then yeah, you can totally deal with that.
Okay. Oh god, and he got the kill. Every
triple.
single Janissary actually hit there. That was pretty crazy.
Oh baby, a triple. And yeah, if you're doing this play, why not pick Tatars?
But Tatar? Well,
Tatars. Tartars. The Forgotten Civ.
what?
You know, the Civ with the Cav Archer and the hill bonus.
Yeah. But why is it... that in that way a forgotten Civ. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't really a forgotten Civ.
No, it wasn't. Oh yeah. I meant forgotten in the.
Yeah.
That was
forgotten,
confusing.
not forgotten.
Yeah.
Forgotten.
Hera just now getting moon, but what I meant by
Forgotten.
that is that one, they can go for a pretty comfortable fast castle with the extra sheep,
Forgotten.
and then you have good cav archers, and you have the high ground bonus. Like if you're doing this, if this is your game plan against Turks,
Forgotten.
then I think Tartars would be better.
Yeah, I think so as well. And well, CA in the long run could have been the good option for them. Now we have this siege workshop at the front here. Is he going for mangonels behind this? That feels weird against Mass CA.
I don't hate it. I think it's better than monks. And if you want to add a auxiliary castle age building, I think that
What?
a auxiliary castle age building, you know, like
is it Shakespeare again?
No, that word is just part of English.
Okay.
It's definitely part of English. But like between a siege workshop, university, and monastery, I like siege workshop the best.
Okay. Yeah, I think a 30C is what I would have liked best. He's now getting raided at the right-hand side. Janissaries not really getting the best job of chasing the army down. Actually getting some kills here, quite surprisingly.
Yeah.
That was for Scorpion. Okay, interesting.
Interesting indeed. I'm not too sure why that needs to be the case. Also, I'm not sure, again, why on earth MbL is going for Bulgaria. Like, what is he doing with Bulgarians? Like, what about this Civ is he utilizing effectively?
I don't know.
Like, if MbL was Spanish, this would look exactly the same.
He'd have 100 less stone.
He'd have 100 less stone, but his buildings would be up a bit faster.
Yeah, probably.
I guess, like, you know what I mean? Like, you want to leverage what your Civ is good at, right?
Yeah. But, well, I think with Spanish he just went conks.
I mean, yeah, with Spanish, you would just go conks. And I mean, in most scenarios. I guess I just don't know what about Bulgarians is MbL using.
Okay, well, let's just focus on the game and what's happening. Because Hera, he is packing a lot of his villagers. 10 is the number that he's sending forward, and he wants to make a forward castle happen. How aggressively can he build this? Maybe even touching the archery rangers there? Is that an option?
That was exactly what I was thinking. Just slam it right down. What is he gonna do? What's he gonna do about it? He has no stone access.
Yeah, no stone access indeed. Both of them super open. Janissaries are now diving in. Not seeing any real, anything really contesting that. More Janissaries coming over. I like the position for Hera here. We can't build defensive towers, and the castle, indeed where I wanted to see it. Perfect placement in my opinion.
Yes. The one thing that has me a little bit concerned for Hera is that the Janissaries might not quite be enough now that Bloodlines is here.
Ooh, Scorpion's getting a lot of damage done here against all
and a
those.
Mangonel coming in as well.
Oh god, didn't only get one single Scorpion down, lost like 3 CA, massive amount of HP behind this as well. Another good ground attack. Oh god, they are so low now.
Yeah, and the skirmishers were all focusing a Scorpion instead of the villagers. Oh no, this castle's going up.
Yeah, that's for sure as well. Way too many villagers. Skirmishers not really the unit that has the biggest damage output. And another ground attack. CA numbers dropping so heavily. This looks really good. And Hera, he just can just camp and go in. Another siege workshop even at the front.
Yeah, why not? Just mix in some rams. Why don't you? You have the protection of the castle. Just batter down the archery ranges and the blacksmith.
Oh, Lightcav at the top, active as well. Did scout some of the villagers moving over. He can just send some of the Janissaries and punish those from moving out. Where is the other gold spot of MbL?
Far left side, he's taking it comfortably.
Yeah, MbL. He's not getting any stone. So Yeah, should he make a ram go happen or what? Shouldn't really work, right?
I don't think so. But I still don't see how you're going to deal with Imperial Age Turks with bombard cannons being able to be produced instantly.
Yeah, no way, no way. It's just like the only option is like you kill all the Janissaries now. Farah's not taking care, but counterattack is not really an option. Janissary production continues as well. Your front is getting attacked. Oh god, those Janissaries even getting away.
Yeah, that. I guess I've just been confused by MbL's play all game.
Well, it is kind of tricky, right? You're very deep in the match. And you don't have like all your civilizations available anymore. You kind of only want to play Graveyards or Golden Pit because those are the maps where you feel most comfortable with. And then you feel like, okay, those two civilizations are bad, but you don't really think until the end, like, what are the army compositions going to be? And that's the problem if you don't prepare like matchups. And I think in this one, you need to prepare at least 3 matchups, if not even 4, because you might lose some of the matchups because of the civilizations from earlier.
Yep, I totally agree. This is a tournament that favors that level of preparation. And this is just something that doesn't make a lot of sense. Another blacksmith coming in because, like I said, the ram came from Hera, just took down the blacksmith.
Yeah.
Man.
What people did in the past was they played their ladder games and took civilizations they had in the ladder games because they learned so much when they played them. But obviously, like, they only played this week, so probably not too many games there. A lot of people were tryharding, so a lot of Civ picking as well because of the Hidden Cup qualifiers. So maybe they didn't come up with more natural civilization matchups, and or maybe MbL had a plan and it just got denied.
Yeah, I would be curious to know what he was thinking. Scale barding armor on the way. I mean, the Janissary numbers are getting a little bit lower, I guess, but MbL still has the numbers disadvantage. He doesn't even have a villager advantage over his opponent, as Hera is still only on 2. No, he's on 3 town centers. Yeah,
MbL, 2 stables at the moment, goes for a siege workshop there at the front, wants to ram down that castle. It's going to be tricky though. Hera, he just needs 1-2 mangonels, builds another TC in the center. It's going to be TC number 3. And Janissary numbers are just rising, and he's taking good fight after good fight with his Janissaries.
The one thing that kind of surprises me is how far away Hera is from Imperial Age. Like, he is nowhere remotely close to Imperial Age.
Well, he's just producing Janissaries out of 2 castles constantly, right? Adds mangonels, 2 siege workshops. You can get the resources on the map.
Yeah, definitely. But, you know, if MbL comes in here with a huge army of rams or something, that could be one of the ways you could possibly lose this game if you're Hera.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he's so far away with the Janissaries. That Scorpion actually scouting a lot of exposed villagers. No new lumber camp there, and look at that Scorpion going wild. Actually attacking the skirmishers there in the center of the eco. Villagers fighting this one down. Oh, yeah.
Oh, there it is. I was like looking all over, like looking for natural places to find the Scorpion.
No, it was no
on this
natural
map,
place. TC number 4 dropped in the center as well, and Hera now sees what's up. Sees knights with +2 defense and bloodlines. Sees the siege workshop with the flag. He knows that attack through the center is coming, and now MbL is unleashing with only 2 mangonels. That's not a great. With 2 rams, that's not a great choice.
He should be able to kill both mangonels. I don't know why the knights stopped there. And I mean, like, that's a lot of knights, but it's 2 castles, man. It's gonna take a long time.
Yeah, even if he clears up 1, Janissary is so far out of position. Hera, not the greatest positioning there. And villagers even going around. If they can kill a single ram, that would be kind of fine for him. But for now,
yeah,
he's
totally.
just trying to attack the units close to the TC. And the Scorpion coming over again. Should do a lot against very clumped up skirmishes here.
Certainly. And in case people don't know, Janissaries do deal bonus damage against rams. So they're not as bad as you would think in terms of taking them out from a distance.
Okay.
And the knights obviously can't leave under the castle because they just died to the castle.
Oh, 2.8k HP, MbL, he's completely... No, he still has gold, but is now going for light calf. And we have the repair. Mangonel is now taking the first hits here. Do we see the quick gate for... or quick wall for the Mangonel? Indeed, the Mangonel will be walled and he will defend against that Ram. So nice. Go build the full cage. Even wanted to get the Janissaries in, but not the most important thing. And if the Rams die, I think so does the attack.
That is indeed the case. There were a lot of Janissaries that were killed there, but everything from MbL died as well. So it's kind of a moot point. And with 3 castles, you can get that Janissary production. With 4th one on the way in the middle of the map, Hera's got all the gold in the world. It's the Turkic dream.
Absolutely, and yeah, he knows, okay, my opponent just wasted all his army, he can't have much more. Go at the right-hand side, even being annoying there, and yeah. That was a beautiful hold by Mr. Hera. Beautiful walls there. The double castle there at the front. Impossible for MbL to advance here.
Yeah, is looking like it might be the series. And indeed it is. Solid play from Hera.
Oh,
I would have
G
to
to
say.
the G. He will play in the finals tomorrow, 17 GMT. He will face Leary or the Viper. The series will start pretty soon after this one. Actually, we're already 6 minutes late. Hera, he was down to 1 and then won 3 games in a row. Do you think MbL could play his A game?
I don't. I think for the first 3 games, MbL was playing in form, and then in the last 3 games kind of didn't feel like it was the same level. I mean, that's easy to say because he lost, but
Yeah.
I do feel like the losses were a bit more
Okay.
one-sided than, say, game 2.
MbL says GG's, I'm drunk already. Whatever that means.
I do not know. But I do know is 106 kills to 29 deaths is pretty good for Hera.
Oh yeah, let me take a look at the statistics as well. Maybe you want to jump into my chat and spam your social media stuff as well. Lots of people around, or exclamation mark. I think an exclamation mark co-caster might even have it here, right? Yeah, indeed.
Maybe. Okay.
So if you enjoyed Honest Knowledge, drop by as his channel as well. 106 to 29. Oh god, no stone to 2.8k stone as well.
Yeah, I like that. That's crazy.